The sergeant at
Hello.
arms would be hello, Toastmaster Silla. Good to see you. I think it's the first time that I'm seeing you.
But I've seen you many times.
Oh, is it? Those
Yeah.
wanted posters. I must get that. Must get those things down.
I have actually attended a few of the meetings as a guest. And just
Right,
because of
right.
my office schedule, I used to be remain, you know,
Yeah,
silent.
you've never turned your. Yeah, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I
I've
never turn
observed.
on
I've
my
observed.
camera. But you
Right,
are a known
right.
figure. We know you.
Thank you. Right, Meher, your backgrounds are great. And acting sergeant at arms. Who was that?
I could be.
Okay. In which case, TBH, over to you. Start the meeting formally.
Toastmaster Cyril, as you were saying, if we could swap the roles because there's still some bandwidth issue in
Yeah,
my
yeah,
end.
cool.
If it's
Under
possible,
timer.
yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Just a second. Yeah,
And the
everyone.
evaluator, please note that the meeting has started with a delay of 10 minutes. Over
Okay,
to you, TBH.
thank you. Everyone, welcome to this joint meeting of WordWise Advanced and Husne Khitabat Toastmasters Club. Husne Khitabat Toastmasters Club और WordWise Advanced Toastmasters Club की इस मुश्तरका इजलास में आप सबका बहुत बहुत स्वागत। वैसे हिंदी हो जाएगा मगर उर्दू में भी इस्तेमाल होता है, तो चलिए स्वागत कर लेते हैं। और ओके, नाउ आई एम नॉट श्योर विच लैंग्वेज टू, but okay. Since I also took up membership, renewed membership in Husne Khitabat, so I don't know which club I'm representing. But anyhow, so आप सबका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। और कुछ चीज़ें ऐसी हैं जो इस इजलास के दौरान हमें मद्देनजर रखनी चाहिए। दोनों ही क्लब जो हैं वो एतराज़ करते हैं इस बात से कि किसी भी मुतनाज़ा मौजू को छेड़ा जाए जिसमें जिन्स, मजहब और सियासत है। ये कोई टोस्ट मास्टर्स का कानून नहीं है, मगर एक अच्छा, साफ सुथरा और महफूज माहौल बनाने के लिए हमारे हिसाब से ज़रूरी है, और साल साल के तजर्बे ने इसको साबित भी किया है। इसके अलावा आप सबसे दरख्वास्त है कि हो सके तो अपने स्क्रीन्स ऑन रखें और अपनी साउंड या आवाज़ ऑफ रखें ताकि इजलास अच्छी तरह आगे बढ़ सके। और let me share the Toastmaster mission statement first. The mission of Toastmasters International is to provide supportive learning environment where members can develop their communication and leadership skills. This helps members become more confident and grow as people. Members learn how to speak in front of others. Members learn how to lead others. Members gain self-confidence and experience personal growth. Toastmaster Club often have core values such as respect, integrity, service, and excellence. And of course, we both the clubs share these values as well. Uh, so इसके साथ ही uh, मैं इजलास अब हवाले करूंगा हमारे सदर टोस्टमास्टर सिरिल पॉल। Over to you, Toastmaster Cyril Paul. Get me out of this, please.
Thank you. May I invite the president of Husni Kitabat, Toastmaster Rashid, to do the opening remarks.
थैंक यू वेरी मच। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। और मैं बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ, बल्कि मशकूर हूँ वर्डवाइज टोस्ट मास्टर क्लब की क़यादत, बिलखुसूस नायब सदर तालीम का, कि उन्होंने हमें हुस्न खिताबत को दावत दी एक मुश्तरका इजलास की। तो कहना तो नहीं चाहिए, लेकिन वो क्या कहते हैं कि मखमल में टाट का पैबंद लगाने वाली बात है। तो लेकिन बहरहाल ये एक वर्ल्ड वाइज क्लब का ایک بڑا پن بھی ہے، اور حسن خطابت میں بھی گو کے چند ایک ممبر ہیں، لیکن ماشاءاللہ سے وہ بھی چمکتے دمکتے ستارے ہیں ٹوسٹ ماسٹر کی دنیا کے. تو انشاءاللہ آج کی یہ مجلس جو ہے وہ دونوں طرف کے ستاروں سے خوب چمکے گی. اور اس مجلس کا جو عنوان ہے وومن ڈے کے حوالے سے، تو انشاءاللہ
وہ
آج
اسی
کی
میں رہنے دینا. ٹھیک ہے میں بھیجتا ہوں وہ یہ آئے گا. ہاں چوکیدار جو ہے.
عالمی یوم خواتین کے حوالے سے جو عنوان ہے، تو انشاءاللہ یہ ویسے کل ہمارے آفس میں چھوٹی سی ایک سرمنی تھی اس میں، تو اس میں ایک صاحب نے یہ کہا کہ دیکھیں ایک دن کیوں مناتے ہیں، 365 دن ہی ان کے ہیں اور سبھی کے ہیں. تو اس میں پھر میں نے یہ کہا کہ ہم اس ایک دن کو اس لیے مناتے ہیں کہ اگلے 364 دن بھی ایسے ہی منائیں گے. تو بہرحال مطلب یہ کہ ایک تجدید کا ایک لمحہ ہوتا ہے کہ ایسے دنوں کو منانے کا، کہ جب ہم تجدید کرتے ہیں کہ اگر ہم سے کوئی کمیاں کوتاہیاں ہو رہی ہیں تو ہم ان کو درست کر لیں. اور علامہ اقبال نے جو کہا تھا کہ وجود کائنات سے ہے تصویر کائنات میں رنگ، یقیناً ہماری زندگیوں میں جو رنگ ہیں وہ ہماری ماؤں بہنوں بیٹیوں اور شریک حیات اور جو بھی خواتین ہماری زندگی میں ہیں ان کی بدولت ہی ہیں. اور یقیناً کہیں کہیں جہاں ہم اس نعمتوں سے محروم ہوتے ہیں تو پھر ہمیں اس میں کچھ کمی ضرور نظر آتی ہے. جیسے کہ میں اگر اپنی بات کروں تو ہم 6 بھائی تھے اور اب میرے 3 بیٹے ہیں ماشاءاللہ. تو بہن اور بیٹی، حقیقی بہن اور بیٹی، اس کے رنگ سے یقیناً میں محروم ہوں. لیکن بہرحال مطلب جو دوسرے رنگ ہیں ماں کے شریک حیات کے، تو انہوں نے یقیناً زندگی میں وہ رنگ برنگا بنا رکھا ہے. اور بہنیں اور بیٹیوں کی جو رنگ ہیں وہ بھی نظر آ جاتے ہیں اپنی بھتیجیوں میں بھی، اور اپنی جو بہنیں ہیں خالازاد چچازاد بہنیں ہیں. لیکن بہرحال وہ جو ایک حقیقی رنگ ہے اس کی تھوڑی سی کمی ضرور محسوس ہوتی ہے. تو یقیناً ہم سب کو یہ عہد کرنا چاہیے کہ آج کے دن کو جب ہم منائیں گے اور اچھی اچھی باتیں کریں گے تو پھر ہم اگلے 364 دن اس پہ دل و جان سے عمل کریں، اور پھر اس کے بعد اگلے وومن ڈے پہ دوبارہ تجدید کریں اور یوں ہی تجدید کرتے جائیں. نہ صرف خواتین بلکہ یہ کہ تمام رشتوں کے لیے جب ہم یہ بات کرتے ہیں، کسی ایک رشتے کی بات کرتے ہیں یا کسی ایک صنف کی بات کرتے ہیں، تو اصل میں ہم اس میں ایک کاملیت کی بات ہے کہ جب احساس ہوتا ہے تو پھر احساس مکمل ہوتا ہے. احساس کبھی بھی جزوی نہیں ہو سکتا، اٹ کانٹ بی پارشیل نہیں ہو سکتا، مکمل ہوگا. احساس کریں گے پھر آپ سبھی کا احساس کریں گے. اگر آپ اتنی جو ہماری زندگی کے قیمتی رشتے ہیں، ہماری مائیں ہیں، بہنیں ہیں، بیٹیاں ہیں، شریک حیات ہیں، ان کا احساس کریں گے تو وہی ہمیں دوسرے رشتوں کا بھی احساس دلائیں گی اور دلاتی ہیں. پھر ہمیں جو انسپریشن ملے گی تو پھر ہم ہر رشتے کا، ہر تعلق کا احساس کریں گے. تو اسی احساس کے ساتھ ہم آج کے اس اجلاس کا آغاز کرتے ہیں. اور پھر میں شکر گزار ہوں ورڈ وائز کی قیادت کا کہ انہوں نے ہمیں موقع دیا اس مشترکہ اجلاس کا. اور اب میرے خیال میں ہم اجلاس کو آگے بڑھاتے ہیں اور آج کے ایجنڈے کا باقاعدہ آغاز کرتے ہیں. اور اس کے لیے جو ٹوسٹ ماسٹر آف دی ڈے ہیں اس کو بلانے کے لیے جن کی ذمہ داری ہے، میں ان سے ملتمس ہوں کہ وہ مجلس کو آگے بڑھائیں. بہت بہت شکریہ.
بہت شکریہ. Good morning, everyone. My name is Aiza, and I am delighted to welcome you all to this special joint meeting of WordWise and Husne Khitabat. Today is an extraordinary occasion. Not only is this the second ever joint session of our two amazing clubs, but it also coincides with International Women's Day. This makes our gathering even more meaningful as we come together to celebrate the contributions, struggles, and achievements of women across history in our own lives. We have a special presentation for you today, one that is close to my heart. Not just a topic that I've researched or feel passionate about, it's one that I've been living for nearly 2 decades now. Her story isn't just hers, it's ours. The challenges, the triumphs, and the barriers broken by women have shaped the world we live in today. But the story is far from over. As we reflect on history, we must also confront the biases and obstacles that still persist and ask ourselves, what will it take to create a future where every voice is heard? So buckle up, because her story is the foundation of our future. We'll dive deeper into this theme later, but first, let's introduce the segments of today's meeting. Every WordWise meeting always unfolds like the chapters of a book, something we are very familiar with, beginning with the WordWise Odyssey, which sets the tone for the session. Then we move on to our Let's Word It segment, followed by inspiring pathway speeches from not one but two distinguished Toastmasters. After that, we have our insightful book review segment, leading into our always exciting table topic session. Finally, we conclude with our interpretive reading and extemporary writing segments, ensuring a well-rounded and enriching experience for us all. For today's ever-dazzling role players, we have District Toastmaster Rashid Dastagir as our language evaluator for Urdu. Rashid Dastagir is a chartered accountant and a passionate Toastmaster since 2014. With a deep love of public speaking and reading, he finds inspiration in words and wisdom. He credits his mother for shaping his journey and his wife for maintaining the balance in his life. Let's give him a warm welcome. Toastmaster Rashid?
So, would like to hear me something from me or the about role?
You're our Urdu language evaluator, so I think
Yes.
you give us the word of the day.
Yes. So, उर्दू लैंग्वेज एवेलुएटर माहिर कवाद इंशा। तो आज का जो हमारा वर्ड ऑफ द डे या आज का जो लफ्ज है वो है तमकनत। और तमकनत का मतलब है शान व शौकत, रोब, वकार। और इसको हम इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं जुमलों में कि इंसान की तमकनत उसके किरदार में होती है, ना कि ज़ेबो ज़ीनत में। और सूफिया की तमकनत शाहों के जाहो जलाल से सिवा होती है। आई होप कि ये जो एक मुफक्का व मुसज्जा उर्दू है जो कि फ़ारूक साहब ने तजवीज़ की है, तो मोस्ट ऑफ दी पार्टिसिपेंट हेयर अंडरस्टूड इट। तो तमकनत यकीनन आज के दिन के हवाले से भी ये वर्ड एक काफ़ी रिलेटेबल है, क्योंकि हमारी ख़वातीन में जो तमकनत नज़र आती है आज के ज़माने में, तो वो वाकई मतलब ये कि जिस तरह से उन्होंने अपना लोहा मनवाया है और हर फील्ड में अपना झंडे गाड़े हैं, तो वो उसकी वजह से आज ख़वातीन की तमकनत हमारे मुआशरे में सिवा है। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
Thank you. Next, we have Toastmaster Cyril Paul as our language evaluator for English, a man of many talents and deep reflection. Cyril Paul is a former equity professional with a keen interest in reading, sketching, music, movies, and engaging conversations and much more. A Toastmaster member for 4.5 years, he has embraced the journey of self-improvement, communication, and leadership. The woman who played the most significant role in shaping his life, he credits as his mother Rosa, the source of everything beautiful in his world. Her love, guidance, and influence continue to inspire him every day. Let's welcome Cyril as he shares his thoughts and experiences with us today, as well as our word of the day.
Thank you. There's a small change in plans. I've swapped the language developer role with Toastmaster Meher. I shall be the timer for this meeting, which means that I shall be flagging whenever someone's each segment of Toastmasters meeting that it's got certain timelines attached to it. Whenever you reach the minimum time, I shall be showcasing a green color in my background. As you're moving through your time, you'll be finding the background changing to yellow. And when you're at the maximum time, the background is red. Therefore, try to wind up when you see the screen turning yellow behind you. I shall announce the exact timelines for each segment as and when we move into that segment. And thank you for that wonderful introduction, Toastmaster Raisa. Back to you.
All right, now for our actual language evaluator, we have Toastmaster Meher, someone I have had the privilege of meeting multiple times and having her as a mentor for this meeting. Meher Tanveer is a passionate lover of reading, great movies, and the beauty of nature. A dedicated Toastmasters member for about 3 years, she has shaped and inspired remarkable women throughout her life. From the wisdom of her leadership of her ma'am, Rizwana Aslam, and the literary brilliance of Enid Blyton, Jane Austen, and J.K. Rowling, has each left a lasting imprint. Of course, her sister and nieces continue to be a source of strength and joy for her. Please welcome Meher as she now introduces our word of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, our agile, alert, and flexible Toastmaster of the Day, for accommodating our on-the-spot changes as well. Thank you for that lovely introduction. And I must say that when I heard your question, I was I truly realized that the women that we read, their thoughts, their imagination, it has influenced my life, and I'm sure so many other girls so much. They deserved a spot in the top position. Today's word of the day, as suggested by our word master before we swap roles, was scintillate. Scintillate. It means to twinkle, sparkle, glimmer, glitter, shine, and it's used both literally and metaphorically. So the stars glimmer, and after we brush our teeth teeth might be scintillatingly white. And someone who writes a great piece of poetry might be a scintillating orator. A few uses of the word are a wonderful evening under the scintillating stars. She delivered a scintillating session on Allama Iqbal's works. Once again, my thanks to Toastmaster Cyril Paul for helping me out with my bandwidth issue and taking up the timer role. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Meher. Now, for our first segment that we've all been waiting for, we have the scintillating Toastmaster Sameen Mukhtar as our Let's Worded curator. A problem solver by profession and a storyteller at heart, she is a software engineer who's been a Toastmaster member for about 5 months. She has been blessed with the presence of strong, inspiring women in her life. Her Nani was an Islamic scholar who not only taught Urdu and Arabic to many women in her community, but also to her Dadi, who went on to become a trailblazer herself, who was the first in her village to take a stand for girls' education, paving the way for a generation of women who became teachers, principals, nurses, and professionals. Their courage and their wisdom continue to inspire every single day. So let's give a warm welcome to none other than Toastmaster Sabine Mukhtar.
Thank you so much, Aiza, for the wonderful introduction. And just keeping up with the theme of the meeting and keeping up with the theme of the day. Today's Let's Word is all around women and womanhood. So throughout history, literature and poetry have often portrayed women as embodiment of color, fragrance, and melody, symbolizing their depth, grace, emotional resonance. Colors represent their vibrancy and presence, whether it's passionate red for love, or serene blue of wisdom, or golden hues of nurturing warmth. Fragrance captures their essence linked to the blooming flowers of scent of the rain. Melody reflects their rhythm in life, from the lullabies of a mother to the enchanting voice of a muse. It signifies the harmony. And be it English, Urdu, Farsi, or Urdu literature, these three themes, they keep on coming, and you will hear echoes of the three themes of fragrance, color, and melody to depict womanhood. In English, William Wordsworth said in the poem, "She was the phantom of delight, a dancing shape, an image gray, to haunt, to startle, to waylay," to depict the women as the color, the vibrance that she brought to his life. Alfred Lord Tennyson in The Miller's Daughter says, "Her voice was like the voice of stars, had when they sang together, And then I found an excerpt from the French poem, and I'm glad that Noor is not here. Otherwise, he would have escorted me out of the meeting if had I attempted on the French pronunciation. So I will stick to the English translation. The soul of my woman is my favorite fragrance, a scent that lingers in time endlessly. Or her laughter, a whisper of jasmine in breeze, lingers long after she was gone, as John Keats has said. इसी तरीके से उर्दू में भी यही 3 उन्वान बार बार खवातीन को बताने के लिए आए हैं. जैसे घरों को भरना था कुदरत ने रंगो खुशबू से, घरों को भरना था कुदरत ने रंगो खुशबू से, कहीं पे फूल कहीं पे बेटियां बना दी. जॉन एलिया कहते हैं, अजीब साज है उसकी सदा का लम्स के जैसे वो छू भी ले तो वो ही गूंजने लगे. और रंगों पे मीर तकी मीर फरमाते हैं कि न पूछ आलमे बरगो गुलाब का अहवाल, न पूछ आलमे बरगो गुलाब का अहवाल, नसीम सुबह जब आए तो हमको याद आया. जब रंग की, खुशबू की और साज की बात हो तो अल्लामा इकबाल का मशहूर शेर जो खवातीन के लिए उन्होंने कहा कि वजूद जन से है तस्वीर कायनात में रंग, इसी के साथ से है जिंदगी का सोजे दरों. The existence of women brings color to the universe. She is the lyre that imparts warmth to the human heart. और यही हमारा आज का उन्वान है. उर्दू में वजूद जन से है तस्वीर कायनात में रंग, और इंग्लिश में
You are mute.
होस्ट ने मुझे म्यूट कर दिया.
Yeah, exactly. I did because so apologies. Please continue.
हाँ जी, तो हमें 3 से 4 लोग चाहिए होंगे जो आए और वॉलंटियर करें. इस पे उर्दू में लिखेंगे वजूद जन से है तस्वीर कायनात में रंग, और इंग्लिश में लिखेंगे द एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ विमेन ब्रिंग्स कलर टू द यूनिवर्स. मैं ये चैट बॉक्स में भी लिख देती हूँ दोनों जुमले, ताकि जो उर्दू में अटेम्प्ट करना चाहें या इंग्लिश में इसको लिखना चाहें वो लिख पाए. जी, वर्ड वाइजर्स और अवाम हुस्न खिताबत, सामने आइए, अपने जौहर दिखाइए. Srijita, would you like to give it a try? Bringing colors to our life and to to WordWise. Would you like to
Actually,
share?
actually, I wanted to attempt the Urdu version, but my
हाँ,
Urdu is so poor that I don't
नहीं,
actually.
कोई मसला नहीं भाई. आप लिखिए तो सही, हम सुनने के लिए बेताब हैं.
Okay, just since I can't read the Urdu like topic, like
आप इसको
just
उर्दू
repeat
में
it for me once and I'll note it down.
वजूद जन से है,
Hmm.
जन खातून, वजूद
Yeah,
यानी उसकी प्रेजेंस, ठीक है.
I know
वजूद
it.
जन से है तस्वीर कायनात में रंग.
Good. Thank you so much.
और मैंने इसको रोमन में चैट बॉक्स में भी लिख दिया. और तहसीन फातिमा भी
Thank
लिखना
you.
चाह रही है. तहसीन, would you write it in English or in Urdu?
Hello, Assalamu alaikum everyone. Happy Women's Day. I first of all want to ask that we need to write or we need to deliver a speech. I can write in Urdu. I would like to do it in Urdu, by the way.
जरूर आप लिखें. तहसीन, आपके पास 20 मिनट होंगे. अभी से आप अगर शुरू करेंगी तो मीटिंग के आखिर में आपने करीब 300 से 400 लफ्ज के बीच में कुछ ना कुछ लिख के आपने बताना होगा. आप वो लिखे हुए को भी पढ़ सकती हैं. तो हमने सिर्फ
Okay.
आपके ख्यालात सुनने होंगे, तो हम आपको आखिर में, आप अभी से शुरू कर दें, आखिर में हम आपको दावत देंगे।
Thank you.
Sam, please count me in for English.
Cyril in pink shirt in English. Mr. Cheetah in टाइमर, डू वी हैव टाइम फॉर वन अदर? हमारे पास 3 हुए हैं, एक फोर्थ ले सकते हैं। हमारे पास 2 उर्दू, 1 इंग्लिश है।
I think let's roll with it unless someone volunteers in the next 30 seconds.
I just did.
TBH did. That's
आप उर्दू में
TBH,
लिखेंगे?
Urdu or
इंग्लिश?
English.
इंग्लिश, चलें। We have a good combination here, और ये मैं the final list, I'm sending it in the chat. So it's 3 to 5 minute segment. आपने 300 to 400 words लिखने हैं, just to give whatever you have in your mind against this topic. And with that, back to our lovely, colorful, fragrant, and melodious TMOD.
Thank you, Samin. Okay, coming back to our topic at hand. We've talked about her story. We've been just lightly touched the topic. So for today's presentation, our topic is, let me share screen. Give me 1 second. Why am I not being open? I need to share my screen. Give me 1 second. One second. Can we see?
yes, we do.
All right. So why don't we travel back to our childhood, the first taste we ever get of women? So for many of us, the first love we ever experienced was from our mothers, our grandmothers, our aunts, our sisters, in some cases cousins, before people think it's, I did that on purpose. Grandmothers, although, in particular, have a way of making the world feel safe. They tell us stories of resilience, of battles fought quietly but fiercely. They teach us love, patience, and sacrifice. I'll always remember mine when I'm studying by my mother, who narrates the story of her giving snacks when she was studying. From fresh fruit juices to dry fruits, I'd like to believe that that's our first ever taste of someone's love language. So today, as we celebrate International Women's Day, we recognize not only their love, but also their struggles. We'll talk about breaking barriers and confronting unconscious bias, the silent forces that somehow hold women back, often from childhood to old age. Now, in front of you is a very underwhelming list of women, and they have pictures to go along with it. But when I'm now going to walk you through every single one of them, and we're going to find out what they actually did. We're starting with Sarojini Naidu, who was a freedom fighter and a poet, also known as the Nightingale of India. We've got Fatma Firhi, who founded the world's first university, Al Qarawiyyin, in Morocco. We have Marie Curie, who we know very well, pioneering scientist who discovered radioactivity and won not one, but 2 Nobel Prizes. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the US Supreme Court Justice who championed gender equality. She passed away in 2020. Rosa Parks sparked the civil rights movement, refusing to give up her bus seat. Frida Kahlo was the iconic Mexican painter who's known for her surreal and deeply personal art. Harriet Tubman, though, she led enslaved people to freedom through the Underground Railroad. I suggest everybody go check this out after that. We've got Eleanor Roosevelt, who's the first lady, diplomat, and human rights advocate who shaped the United Nations. We've got Indira Gandhi, the first female prime minister and a strong political leader for India. Benazir Bhutto, the first female Prime Minister of Pakistan and a symbol of resilience. We've got Margaret Thatcher, Britain's first female Prime Minister, also well known as the Iron Lady. Jane Austen, the classic novelist who shaped English literature with wit and social critique. We have Parveen Shakir, the Urdu poet known for her evocative and feminist poetry. We have the Bronte sisters, who are the literary trio who wrote timeless novels like Jane Eyre and Wuthering Heights. We have Maya Angelou, who's a poet, author, and civil rights activist who inspired generations. Malala Yousafzai, the Nobel laureate who advocates for girls' education. Ada Lovelace, the mathematician who wrote the first ever computer algorithm and who we sort of have to thank today for our meeting. Hedy Lamarr, the actress and inventor who helped develop Wi-Fi technology. Amelia Earhart, the aviation pioneer who was the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. Florence Nightingale, who revolutionized modern nursing and healthcare. Simone de Beauvoir, I don't know if I got that right, philosopher and feminist who influenced gender equality. Sojourner Truth, who's abolitionist and women's rights activist known for her Ain't I a Woman speech. If any of you have had the chance to listen to it or read it, good. But if you haven't, definitely go check that out. Emmeline Pankhurst, who's the leader of British suffragette movement. And Hypatia of Alexandria, the ancient mathematician, philosopher, and astronomer. And Wangari Maathai, the environmentalist and the first African woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize. Now, I just gave you a list of at least 25 women. Their stories are different from one another, but they have one thing in common. What? That change is always possible. It's not something that's impossible. It's not something we can't do. It's not something that's difficult. It's always possible, although effort needs to be made. We have seen them in not one, but multiple chances. But before we talk about how to implement change, we have to talk about our two pathway speeches or our episodes. We have our first DTM, Irfan Faruqi, who is a lifelong learner and inspiring leader, and a senior manager at Century Paper and a dedicated Toastmaster since 2020. With an unwavering passion for learning, he actively seeks out every opportunity to grow, refine his skills, and broaden his horizons. When it comes to individuals who have shaped him, he believes that no single person defines his journey. Instead, he has been influenced by multiple personalities, each leaving a unique impact on his perspective and growth. A firm believer in continuous self-improvement, DTM Irfan Faruqi is someone who leads by example. And he is being DTM Irfan Faruqi, is there anything you'd like to say first?
Just wanted to say one thing before I go for my speech, that we've been talking about the ladies that have established the life patterns, and when we were talking, I just didn't write anything on that very specifically, but the way we have been talking right now, I would like to appreciate three ladies of my life. Two of them were my sisters. The number one was my eldest sister. She was a principal in various degree colleges, retired at a very senior level from government. And she was 20 years elder to me. So she was the one that gave her lap to me. And when I was a young child, वो मुझे वो लोरियां सुनाया करती थीं, और उस ज़माने की बड़ी मशहूर और मारूफ लोरियां, धीरे से आ जा रही अखियन में निंदिया आ जा रही आ जा. And this is one that I had always heard from her. She was the one who shaped my love of life, the patriotism, how to मोहब्बत कैसे बांटते हैं. Number two was my number two sister. She was also a principal of various colleges, a professional woman. At my young age, I was too much into politics, and I used to come home late at night. And my father was so strict that he used to lock up the home, and he locked me out of home once. You are so late, out of the home. No need to come home. And that was my number two sister. She had a politically opponent point of view from me. I was supporting one area, one political segment. She supported the opposite political segment. Yet, by the night at 3 in the morning, she was awake, waiting for me, home locks in her hand, waiting that I should come, hand over locks to me, then she would go to sleep. And that is, I learned, the third lady of my life is my daughter. And when she was too young, she would come to me, wake up me in the night, not her mother, me, Baba, bhook lagi hai. Baba, anda to bana de. And I would go to kitchen, make her an omelette and serve her with it. At night, when I was about to sleep, before the sleep, when she was about to ईशा की नमाज का वक्त है, मैं जाएगी और जब मैंने सलाम फेरा, बाबा कितनी नमाज रह गई, बस 2 और बेटा, फिर बाबा पहले मुझे सुला दे. And many times it happens that I would leave the prayer, take him into my lap, and मैं उसको वो फिर भी जाती रह गई. और वो प्यार जो मुझे अपनी बहनों से मिला था, वो प्यार मैंने अपनी बेटी को देने की कोशिश की. और मेरा ख्याल है कि मेरी ज़िंदगी में कोई बहुत अच्छा किरदार अगर है तो वो मेरी बड़ी बहनों का और मेरी बेटी का है, जिन्होंने मुझे इंसान से प्यार करना सिखाया. इससे हट के कि आपकी सोच क्या है, आप कैसे हैं, रिश्तों की मोहब्बत मैंने इन 3 लोगों से पाई. Back to you.
Thank you so much. And these are such beautiful words. But now, for your speech, you will be evaluated by none other than District Toastmaster Asma Naz, who is a manager of finance. Asma Naz brings precision to her work, but her true passion lies in people. An extrovert at heart, she thrives on meeting new individuals and gaining fresh perspectives. Beyond finance and conversations, she finds joy in the art of cooking, especially in experimenting with new flavors. A dedicated Toastmasters member since 2020, she has been on a journey of growth and learning. And as we explore the theme of women who shaped our lives, we look forward to hearing about the incredible women who shaped hers. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Isa. Okay. Women who shaped my life are many, but the most impactful, that I have here is my mother. I would like to share the story of my mother with you guys, that she was born in a small village in Bangladesh. There were no education facility nearby. She used to go alone with her cousins, walk miles away, riding boots. Even there were rains everywhere, there was water, but she was so determined, and even she was sick, she used to attend the school. She couldn't complete her matriculation, and she came to Pakistan. There she tried to get into a school, but the language was the barrier. But somehow she managed it, but luck didn't help. Luck was not in her favor, and she got married at an early age of 15. But there was a passion, and she was so determined that she will teach her daughters each and everything that she's like. She guided us. She used to learn homework from us and then taught us. That's how we were brought up. She was so brave. She is so resilient, and she fight for everything. Even last year, when she was diagnosed with terminal illness, and all the doctors were like hopeless, and they said, there are just 10% chances, but she fought and she came back. And Alhamdulillah, she's better. She's not very well, but now she's better. So I am like her. I fight for everything. My theory of life is leave no stone unturned. So that's what my mother did, and that's what I do. So now let's move on to the is project. Our speaker, DTM Farooq. So I am Urdu evaluator. I'll transfer to Urdu. हमारे रुकन मुमताज टोस्ट मास्टर इरफान फारूकी अपना जो मंसूबा पेश कर रहे हैं उसका नाम है इत्तफाक राय तक पहुंचना। ये उनके लेवल स्वयं लेवल के पहला पार्ट है। इफेक्टिव कोचिंग इनका पाथवे है। इस मंसूबे का मकसद रुकन को किसी भी मौजू पर इत्तफाक राय तक पहुंचने के लिए किसी अंजुमन के साथ मश्क करना है। इस तकरीर का मकसद ये होगा कि जो मुमताज टोस्ट मास्टर है वो हमें बताएंगे कि गैर टोस्ट मास्टर्स के अंजुमन के साथ उन्होंने किस तरह से किसी भी मंसूबे पे इत्तफाक राय कायम किया, और वो हमें इस अपने तकरीर में इस बात के बारे में बताएंगे। तो मैं दावत देती हूँ मुमताज टोस्ट मास्टर इरफान फारूकी का कि वो आए और अपना तजिया पेश करें। शुक्रिया।
Irfan Saab, can see my screen
Yes, I can.
and you can see the colors shift.
Yes.
Before we progress to Irfan Saab's speech, a quick point of order. I'd like to propose a motion to extend this meeting by 30 minutes. I don't think we will stick to the timeline that we have. It's a very tender topic that we're discussing. Everyone would have a lot to share. I propose a motion to extend this meeting time by 30 minutes. I'd like to have 3 people to second this motion.
I will second this one.
Samreen Mukta, Srijita,
I
and
second.
TBS. Thank you. Thank you so much. This meeting is extended. Feel free to speak your mind. Let's celebrate women the way they should be celebrated without any restraints. Over to you, Timon, to announce the speech title.
Okay, DTM Irfan Farooki, please check audio and video. Do you think everything's fine?
How do you hear me? Am I clearly audible
I
to
hear
you?
you perfectly. Is everything fine on your end?
Yes, it's okay.
I've pinned the timer, Sarah, as well. If you can see Sarah. You can see
I
Sarah on your
request,
screen?
I request others to lay their hands down.
Okay.
Toastmaster, yes, Samreen, your hand was, yeah, now it's okay.
See
Only
how you
one
can
hand.
see him? Okay. DTM Irfan Farooki, Tanavvo. Tanavvo, DTM Irfan Farooki.
मेरे मोहतरम दोस्तों और साथियों, जिंदगी मुख्तलिफ रंगों से मिलके बनी। न सिर्फ रोशनी के मुख्तलिफ रंग हैं, बल्कि लोगों के भी मुख्तलिफ रंग हैं। और ये वजूद ज़न जिसकी हम बात करते हैं, वजूद ज़न से अल्लामा इकबाल ने जिस तस्वीर कायनात की बात की, वो ब्यूटी ऑफ वुमेन नहीं है। ब्यूटी ऑफ वुमेन हम मुख्तलिफ तरीकों से देख सकते हैं, ज़ाहिरी हुस्न की यहाँ बात नहीं। तो इसी तरह इंसानों के तनव्वो के अंदर इंसानों में बहुत सी तब्दीलियां हैं और हर शख्स दूसरे से मुख्तलिफ है। अगर आप में से किसी को जिंदगी में इत्तफाक हुआ हो कि आपने किसी मीटिंग की मेजबानी करनी है और यू हैव टू चेयर अ मीटिंग, और उस मीटिंग में आपकी ख्वाहिश है कि फैसले इत्तफाक राय से हो जाएं, तो शायद आप मुझसे इस बात पे मुत्तफिक होंगे कि जिंदगी में लोगों को किसी एक नुक्ते पे मरकूज कराना और उनको एक नुक्ते पे मुतवज्जो करके फैसला करवाना अगर आम लोगों में बहुत मुश्किल है, तो शायद बड़ी उम्र के तजर्बाकार लोगों में तो तकरीबन नामुमकिन है। हमारी उम्र तक पहुंचते पहुंचते हम समझते हैं हमसे ज्यादा माहिर समझदार कौन हो सकता, कौन जानता है मुझसे ज्यादा अच्छा चीजों को, बस जो मैं कह रहा हूं वही ठीक है। और जब ऐसे 7-8 लोगों को कहीं जमा कर दिया जाए और उनसे कहा जाए कि चलें कोई एक मुत्तफ़िक़ा फैसला करते हैं, तो समझिए फैसला करवाने वाले की तो ऐसी तैसी हो गई। तो मेरे दोस्तों, पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी से जब मैंने मास्टर्स डिग्री ली اور یہ بات میں کوئی آج کل کی نہیں کر رہا، 40 سال پہلے کی بات کر رہا ہوں. تو جو ہمارا کلاس فیلوز کا گروپ تھا انہوں نے ایک خوبی اپنا لی، اور یہ کچھ سال بعد انہوں نے سوچا کہ سال میں 2-3 دفعہ سارے مل بیٹھیں، کہیں ایک دوسرے کے ساتھ زندگی گزاریں. ہلکی پھلکی ملاقاتیں چلتی رہی، اور اگر ان ملاقاتوں کو زیادہ اچھا رنگ دینا ہو تو ہم نے یہ طے کیا کہ کوئی ایک بڑا موقع بھی منانا چاہیے. یہ بالکل ماضی قریب کی ایک کہانی ہے جو میں آج آپ کے ساتھ شیئر کرنا چاہتا ہوں، جو آپ کو سنانا چاہتا ہوں کہ ماضی قریب میں کیا ہو. کیا آپ میں سے کوئی ایسا ہے جسے زندگی میں تجربہ کار بزرگ لوگوں کے اندر اتفاق رائے کرنے کا موقع ملا ہو؟ کوئی ہے؟ ہاں دیکھیں، دنیا کا یقین مانیے سب سے مشکل کام اتفاق رائے پیدا کرنا ہے. ایک ہے اتفاق رائے، اور ایک ہے جسے انگلش میں کمپرومائز ڈیسیجن کہتے ہیں، کہ کچھ میری مان لو کچھ تمہاری مان لو. یہ اتفاق رائے نہیں ہے. اتفاق رائے وہ ہے جس میں سارے لوگ اس بات پہ مطمئن ہوں کہ جو فیصلہ کیا ہے وہ ٹھیک کیا. تو جناب ہمارے گروپ میں اتفاق رائے سے فیصلہ کرنے کا مسئلہ یہ پیدا ہوا کہ کہیں پکنک مناتے ہیں چل کے، کوئی اچھی سی تبدیلی لے کے آتے ہیں. یہ کیا ہم ہوٹل میں جمع ہو جاتے ہیں، کھانا کھاتے ہیں، گھروں کو چلے جاتے ہیں؟ نہیں، تبدیلی آنی چاہیے. اور وہ تبدیلی تو جب بھی کوئی کہتا ہے تبدیلی آنی چاہیے ایک مشکل پیدا ہو جاتی ہے ساری دنیا کے لیے. سو تبدیلی ایک ایسی تبدیلی تھی جس نے ایک نیا مسئلہ کھڑا کر دیا. تو جناب ہمارا آپس کا جب ہوٹل میں ڈنر ختم ہوا تو ہم سارے مل بیٹھے، اور ساروں نے یہ فیصلہ کیا کہ چلیں آج کوئی تبدیلی، اگلی میٹنگ کے لیے کوئی تبدیلی سوچتے ہیں، کیا کریں. ہمارے ایک ساتھی ہیں، انہوں نے فوری طور پر مشورہ یہ دیا کہ چلیں ایسا کرتے ہیں کہ پورا دن کہیں گھومنے پھرنے کا پروگرام بناتے ہیں. یہ کرتارپور میں نیا گردوارہ کھلا ہے اور بڑی خوبصورت جگہ ہے، انڈیا سے بھی بہت لوگ آتے ہیں. تو چلیں وہاں چلتے ہیں، اور وہاں چل کے پکنک بھی ہو جائے گی، گھومنا پھرنا بھی ہو جائے گا، پڑوس سے آئے ہوئے ملکوں کے لوگوں سے ملنا بھی مل جائے. واہ واہ واہ، بہت اچھا پروگرام تھا، بہت لوگ خوش ہوئے. ایک وہ صاحب جو جنہیں گھر سے اتنی اجازت حاصل نہیں تھی کہ صبح سے گئے رات کو واپس آئے، سب سے پہلے انہوں نے احتجاج کیا، نہیں 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 بھائی، اتنا لمبا پروگرام نہیں ہو سکتا. پروگرام تو کوئی چھوٹا ہونا چاہیے، بس 2-4 گھنٹے کا ہو جائے، شام تک رات تک واپسی ناممکن. یہ پروگرام تو گیا. ایک اور ساتھی نے فوری طور پہ مشورہ دیا، کسی باغ میں چلتے ہیں، سارا دن کسی گارڈن میں گزارتے ہیں. اور لاہور تو ہے ہی باغوں کا شہر، تو چلیں شالامار باغ چلتے ہیں اور وہاں جا کے سارا دن گزارتے ہیں. جن صاحب نے یہ مشورہ دیا تھا انہیں ہم آپس میں بریگیڈیئر صاحب کہتے ہیں. اس لیے نہیں کہ وہ فوجی ہیں یا فوج سے ان کا کوئی تعلق، اس لیے کہ جو ان کے اندر تمکنت ہے وہ فوجیوں والی، ان کی آواز، ان کا لہجہ، ان کا روح. لہذا جب انہوں نے یہ فیصلہ کیا وہاں چلتے ہیں. ایک اور دوست سکندر نے کہا کہ یار وہ جگہ کبھی تو بہت اچھی تھی، اس کی جس تمکنت کی بات ہم کر سکتے ہیں مغلیہ دور تک تو تھی، اب تو بیکار کر دیا، وہ ٹوٹی پھوٹی جگہ. بریگیڈیئر صاحب کو غصہ آ گیا، تو سکندر ہمیشہ میری مخالفت کر، میں جب کوئی تجویز دیتا ہوں تجھے میری بات بری لگنے لگتی، تو فوراً کھڑا ہو جاتا ہے سر پہ، وہ ٹھیک ہے میں نہیں جاتا، جاؤ جہاں جانا چلے جاؤ. فیصلہ کرتے کرتے تو لڑائی پیدا ہو، اور پھر ایک نئی تجویز سامنے آئی، ایسا کرتے ہیں کسی اور جگہ کر لیتے ہیں، باغ ہی تو کرنا ہے. اور میں نے پھر تجویز یہ دی کہ لاہور میں ایک جگہ ہے اویسس کے نام سے، ایک ریزورٹ لاہور کے قریب، اور بڑی خوبصورت جگہ ہے، لیکن بھائی مہنگی ہے، خرچہ پڑے گا ہر ایک کو. لوگوں نے آپس میں مشورہ کیا اور فوری طور پر سارے اس بات پہ راضی ہو گئے کہ ٹھیک ہے خرچہ تو پڑے گا، 2-4 گھنٹے کے لیے جائیں گے، 2 بجے کے قریب نکلیں گے، 6 بجے وہاں سے واپس کر لیں گے. پارکس بھی ہوں گے، انٹرٹینمنٹ بھی ہے، گھڑ سواری بھی ہے، کشتی رانی بھی ہے، تیر اندازی بھی ہے، کرکٹ بھی کھیل لیں گے. فیصلہ ہو گیا. میرے ساتھیوں، زندگی میں فیصلے کرنا آسان نہیں، لیکن فیصلے کروانا اس سے بھی زیادہ مشکل کام. अगर सबको शामिल कर लिया जाए, हर एक की राय का एहतराम किया जाए, लड़ाई झगड़ों को में से दरमियानी रास्ता निकाला जाए, लड़ने वालों में सुलह करा दी जाए, हर एक की सुनी जाए, तो फिर किसी ऐसे नतीजे पे पहुंचा जा सकता है जो सबके लिए मुत्तफिक हो। मैंने तो जिंदगी से ये सीखा, सबको साथ लेके चलो, बेहतर जिंदगी गुजरती है। टोस्ट मास्टर ऑफ द डे।
थैंक यू सो मच टोस्ट मास्टर इरफान फारूकी, इतने आपके खूबसूरत लफ्ज के लिए। बड़ी मजेदार आपकी स्पीच थी। अब हम we have our second speaker, another district toastmaster, but he's Muhammad Farooq. He's a man of numbers with a heart of words. Muhammad Farooq is a chartered accountant by profession, but a literary soul at heart, with a deep passion for literature, environmental causes, and social impact. He believes in using knowledge for the greater good. A dedicated Toastmaster since 2019, he has continuously honed his communication and leadership skills. When it comes to the women who have shaped his life, he draws inspiration from Hazrat Bibi Maryam, peace be upon her, his mother, his wife, and his Urdu teacher, each leaving an indelible mark on his journey. Let's hear from him today as he shares his insights with us today.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster. You introduced me. Yes, these three will changed my life, shaped and you know, and reason is very different each one. Since childhood, I saw our mother rising from it. Let it be our upbringing, whatever the reason. I saw many times she compromised a lot for us. And each day I used to commit for myself that I will make her up. And today I'm living for her, making her wishes come true. And this is what I made my purpose. Whatever compromised she did us, he should. And my wife, the reason is different. My wife learned how to share things, how to share love. I lived alone for a longer period of time. When she come to mind, I had to adjust. I had to adjust. I have to give her a space in my life. So that learning, that transformation, that change, how to share your life with someone, share your decision with someone, share your things. That sharing comes from. And yes, my Urdu teacher, Ms. Bushra, she was since my middle school, and she brought this sense in me what literature means. She introduced literature to me. Read this book, that book. What is the meaning of that? Purpose of that poetry? That last 3 or 4 years when she was teacher, she ignited that flame within me, which is still there. These are the things. And for Hazrat Bibi Maryam, I think it's require a longer session. It's so much inspirational thing that I touch it in brief. So, inshallah, one day I will present how she inspired me. She did.
Thank you, Muhammad Farooq. Now, being evaluated for his evaluation, he's being evaluated by none other than District Toastmaster Irfan Farooqi, who will be sharing the project objectives.
मैं माजरत चाहता हूँ कि I have not received the project details from our Toastmaster Muhammad Farooq. Probably some mistake from my end he would have shared at some place. So I'd request him to please share his project details so that I would be able to evaluate him.
Let me step in, sir. It's a presentation mastery, evaluation feedback. So this is a speech in which you'll be evaluating him, and he'll be using that feedback later on. The pathway is presentation mastery.
Yes. It is his
This
first
L1,
speech, and it is level 1. So we would be hearing about from, am I audible? Am I visible? Yeah, I have some internet issue. Please go ahead. Let me correct it.
You're clearly audible and visible. Toastmaster of the day, you can announce the speech title.
Okay. I think everyone, we should just turn off our videos to preserve bandwidth as well, if anybody has them on. So DTM Mohammed Farooq, can you see our timer? Okay.
Yes, I can see.
The rest of us can turn our videos off. Does DTM Mohammed Farooq for password? Password DTM Mohammed Farooq.
मेरा एक ख्वाब था कि मेरा नाम गिनीज बुक ऑफ वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड में शाया हो। चुनांचे जैसे मेरे इम्तिहानात खत्म हुए, मैंने अपना तकिया उठाया और अपना कंबल और छलांग लगा दी अपने बिस्तर पर, ताकि लंबी नींद का आलमी रिकॉर्ड कायम करूं। मेरे वालिद साहब मेरे और रिकॉर्ड के बीच में, उन्होंने मुझे झकझोर कर जगाया, कहा जाओ जाकर कोई काम काज तलाश करो। मजबूरन मैंने यहाँ वहाँ दिया डालना शुरू किया। मेरी बदकिस्मती नौकरी। मेजबान इजलास और मेरे टोस्ट मास्टर साथी, मुझे जिस कंपनी में नौकरी मिली थी, एक पुरानी कंपनी, कंपनी का अंदरूनी माहौल 1960 के सरकारी दफ्तर का नमूना पेश कर, लेकिन एक डिपार्टमेंट सबसे अलग, सबसे जुदा। और शीशे की दीवारें, यकबस्ता एयर कंडीशनर, बेहतरीन फर्नीचर, जदीद तरीन आलात, सीन, ऐसे लोग जिनके पास दुनिया के हर मसले का एक ही हल था, रीस्टार्ट। जी हाँ, ये आईटी डिपार्टमेंट। इस डिपार्टमेंट में खातून, भाई शक्ल, लिबास, शानदार। तो जब भी डिपार्टमेंट कसीरा माहौल लगा या रंगारंग, नटखट नशीला, खुशगवार हो जाता। क्लर्क लोगों की बातें खिल जाती और साहब लोग मुस्कुराने लगते, और कुछ लोग अपनी सांस रोक लेते थे ताकि, याद है पहली दफा आदमी इस कदर करीब हवा का शरीर झोंक ऑस्ट्रेलिया के चेहरे पर। मैं ख्यालों में अपने आप को किसी रोमानी फिल्म हीरो समझ बैठा और कोई गाना गुनगुनाना ही चाहता था। उन्होंने चुटकी बजाकर मुझे चौंकाया और कहा, आप अपना पासवर्ड लिखें। न जाने क्यों, जाने कैसे, मैंने उन्हीं खातून का नाम अपनी जिंदगी के पहले पासवर्ड। फिर क्या था, मेरी हर सुबह का आगाज एक सनसनाते हुए खुशगवार एहसास के साथ होता। जब मैं वो पासवर्ड टाइप करता, मेरी उंगलियों में सनसनाहट इसी तरह गुजर। मैंने आईटी डिपार्टमेंट को फोन किया तो उन्होंने कहा रीस्टार्ट, लेकिन रीस्टार्ट से भी कंप्यूटर स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ। आए मेरा कंप्यूटर आकर, कंप्यूटर के बगैर मैं दफ्तर में एक बेकार शख्स था। चुनांचे मैंने अपने आप को दफ्तर के एक अहम तरीन काम में मशगूल, जो था गॉसिप्स, गीबत। मैं अपने साथियों के साथ गुफ्तगू में मसरूफ के आईटी डिपार्टमेंट से एक पैगाम किया था। सूर्य इसराफिल था, मुझसे मेरा पासवर्ड पूछा गया था। ओ मेरे खुदा, मेरे तो पांव तले जमीन निकल गई। अब मैं अपना पासवर्ड कैसे बताऊं? घबराहट में मुझे कुछ समझ नहीं आया और मैं दफ्तर से भाग गया। लेकिन गलियों में घूमते हुए मैं मुसलसल यही सोच रहा था कि इस आई हुई मुसीबत से कैसे जान छुड़ाऊं। पासवर्ड बताता हूं तो मुश्किल, और नहीं बताता तो मुश्किल। ये हमारी पहली नौकरी थी और अभी हमारा प्रोबेशन पीरियड भी खत्म नहीं हुआ। अगर आईटी डिपार्टमेंट ने कोई तरकीब चलाकर मेरा पासवर्ड मालूम कर दिया और आला हुकाम को बता दिया, उन्होंने मुझे नौकरी से निकाल दिया, तो मैं जाके अब्बू को कैसे बताऊंगा कि मुझे क्यों निकाला? इसी उधेड़ बुन में बेमकसद गलियों में समझ دفتر میں میری غیر حاضری کو کسی نے بھی محسوس نہیں کیا۔ چنانچہ میں ڈیڑھ پاؤں آئی ٹی ڈپارٹمنٹ شیشے کی دیوار سے میں نے جھانک کر دیکھا تو خاتون کمرے میں اکیلی تھی۔ میں نے سوچا موقع اچھا ہے، میں جاتا ہوں ان کے پاؤں پڑتا ہوں اور کہتا ہوں ذرا میرا یہ راز کسی کو نہ بتائیں۔ قدم کے ساتھ خشک گلے کے ساتھ خاتون کے سامنے گیا، یہ آواز بڑی۔ خاتون نے مجھے دیکھا، کہا آپ کا کمپیوٹر ٹھیک ہو گیا، آپ چاہیں تو لے جائیں۔ کیا؟ او میرے خدا، میرا کمپیوٹر ٹھیک ہو گیا بغیر پاسورڈ بتائے؟ میرا تو دل چاہا کہ میں اچھلنے کودنے ناچنے گانے لگوں، لیکن میں نے اپنے جذبات کو قابو کیا، اس کا شکریہ ادا کیا۔ اب میرے سر سے بلا ٹل چکی تھی اور میں اپنے آپ کو اتنا ہلکا پھلکا اور آرام دہ محسوس کرتا۔ مصیبت سر سے ٹل چکی تھی، اس لیے مجھے خرمستیاں سوچی۔ میں نے سوچا کیوں نہ اس موقع کا فائدہ اٹھا کر ان خاتون سے کچھ رسم۔ چنانچہ میں نے تجاہل عارفانہ سے پوچھا آپ میرا پاسورڈ پوچھ رہی تھی یا اس کی ضرورت؟ خاتون نگاہ غضب سے مجھے پاسورڈ، کیا؟ او میرے خدا، آپ کو میرا پاسورڈ معلوم ہے؟ مجھے ایسا لگا کسی نے میرے قدموں تلے زمین کھینچ لی۔ خاتون اسی ٹھنڈے ٹھہرے ہوئے لہجے میں کہہ رہے ہاں صرف تمہارا ہی نہیں، اس دفتر کے ہر شخص کا پاسورڈ ایک۔ اس وقت ایسا لگا میں ایک گہرے کنویں میں گر۔ خاتون کی آواز مجھے کافی دور سے آتی ہوئی محسوس ہو رہی، کہہ رہی تھی ویسے بھی ورکنگ وومن کا نام ایک پاسورڈ ہی تو ہوتا ہے، تم شرمندگی سے سر نہیں اٹھا پا رہا۔ خاتون مسلسل کہے جا کہ تم نے تو جو کچھ کیا اس کو میں ایک معصوم شرارت سمجھ کے نظر کر، ان ستروں میں ہمارے ساتھ سہا نہیں، کہا بھی نہیں۔ آئی ٹی ڈپارٹمنٹ کے بستہ ایئر کنڈیشنر کے بعد سر سے سینے بڑے بوجھل دل اور بھاری قدموں کے ساتھ جب میں ڈپارٹمنٹ سے باہر نکلا صرف ایک ہی بات سوچ، کیوں کہاں منہ میں ایک عزت سے بھر ٹیم سے بھر ماحول نہیں پھیلا۔ آخر وہ دن کب آئے گا جب وہ پورے ٹیم ذات کے احساس کے ساتھ، تحفظ کے احساس کے ساتھ، کیا ابھی بھی وہ وقت نہیں آیا ہماری خواتین ہمارے ساتھ سن؟ کیا ان کا وجود محض ہماری نگاہوں اور ہماری گفتگو کے چٹخارے کا سامان؟ جب میں آئی ٹی ڈپارٹمنٹ سے باہر نکلا ذہن میں سوال ہمیں ہماری خواتین ہمارے دفتر اس ماحول پہلا قدم ہو، آج سے نہیں، صرف لفظوں سے نہیں، عمل سے بھی، اپنی نگاہوں سے جذبانی شخص۔ I hope I was audible.
Yes, you were audible. I'm just looking for where my Zoom went. I have so many tabs open. Okay. Thank you so much for such a lovely speech. And though we had some issues, but we fixed them quite early on. Okay. Now we move on to another segment. You could give me a second.
Okay, I'll temporarily fill in for our team on. We now move to the next segment, which is a very, very exciting segment at WordWise. This is called a book review segment. This is where people who have read any book and they felt inspired by that, they come here and they actually give us a summary of the book and their review of the book. There are two books being reviewed and there are two reviewers. The first one is Toastmaster Mohammed Asgar. Toastmaster Asgar, are you there? There you are.
Oh, yes, thank you. I was actually, the video was taken away by the host.
The host take away several things from you, the video being one
Due,
of them.
due to the reason best known to him. Okay,
You have up to 5 minutes for your book review. Whenever you're ready, I will start.
okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm ready. I'm ready. Thank you very much, Toastmasters, and thank you very much inviting me for to participate in this gathering. I've been listening everything. Um, Uh, I'm biased when it comes to reading book. I only read famous title of the famous authors. This is perhaps the first book that I have read from not a so famous author, but there was a method in my madness. I have read it for two reasons. Firstly, I didn't purchase it. I stole it from the collection of my mother-in-law. Now, this is the first and last time I'm mentioning her today because it's Women's Day and I decided to exercise extreme restraint. The second reason that I wanted to read this particular book is the flashing title of the cover page. Being a man, I shouldn't like this book, should I? I didn't like to read it, but I wanted some preemptive measure in place because the second part of the title is more explosive. Am I allowed to share a screen?
Yes, the rights would have been permitted.
You have the right, sir.
I think I can't do it due to the reason again. How can I do this?
Rights are given.
There's
You
a
have to
green
click
arrow in
on
the
it.
middle of the screen that says share.
You're probably not able to share because of your mother-in-law.
I think someone's must have done something somewhere. I can't be specific because she is around. But can you see this book? The title? Can you read the title?
Yes, we can. It seems to
Very
be.
important.
Okay, then just read it. I had no choice but to read it. Once I finish it, uh, I faced some unintended but pleasant consequences. I came across some of the best action verbs and expression of the English language. Now, why I'm impressed? Well, English unfortunately happened to be my third language. I was somewhat perhaps late to reach it. My competency is still limited when it comes to the intricacies of the language, especially using appropriate action verb is one of them. Now, I found this book full of action verb, and later on came to know this author has developed a speciality of using these verb and bringing out, the sounds, the smell, the scenario into the written words through as action verb. Now, this book linked me with my struggle of improving my own expression in English language. I would like, due to time constraint, I would like to refer just a few action verb that she used in her book. For example, she said, "I fumble in my bag for my phone, but I can't find it is reassuring weight. Now, this is something that you touched your phone inside your bag and you find out it is not there because of the required weight that the mobile phone carries. Similarly, I have another words that I can't believe I forgot my phone and then forgot about forgetting. It is dead, of course. So I humble into the living area and plug it in. I curled up on one of the sofas, wait few seconds for it to come to life. Uh, well, now see, twirling her hair around her finger as she shakes her head. Now, creating the scenario through the smells, through the taste, and the way she said that there is the first screaming red flag. He greets me with a smile and arms wide open, like we were old friend having a long overdue catch up. Missy's cheek flush. Missy is a name of a character. Missy's cheek flush with what seems to be excitement. Should I call them? She asks while we sun our legs, and sip espresso. Now, another sentence. A smirk of satisfaction passes over her face. Sulking up to my apartment like a wounded animal. In the end, I pour myself a giant glass of wine, collapsed on my sofa, and pick up my phone and scroll through the gossip applications. Now, these are the some few examples of the sentences that she used as used action verb in those sentences. So, dear Toastmaster, if you also interested to improve your spoken and written expression, I strongly invite you to steal this book. No, I'm sorry. Purchase this book and read it. Or to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Askar. That was such an enlightening experience. Our second book review is led by District Toastmaster Muhammad Farooq. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, again, inviting me for the review. आज जो मैं किताब लाया हूँ वो शाह अब्दुल लतीफ भटाई का लिखा हुआ कलाम शाज रिसालो। आप सब लोग जानते हैं कि सिंध किसी भी सिंधी शख्स के लिए मजहबी किताब के बाद जो सबसे मोतबर सबसे मुकद्दस किताब है वो शाज रिसालो। आप किसी भी सिंधी जबान बोलने वाले से पूछ लें तो शायद वो इस किताब को अपने दिल के करीब रखता है। तो ये किताब आज मेरे पास है और इस किताब को आज के इजलास में इस किताब का रिव्यू लेकर आने का भी एक खास मकसद है। ये किताब शाह की जो शायरी है वो तकरीबन 17वीं सदी के आगाज में लिखी गई थी और 17वीं सदी सिंध के पॉलिटिकल एनवायरनमेंट के लिए एक बहुत ही कोई अच्छा दौर नहीं था, अफरा तफरी का दौर था। लेकिन शाह साहब ने उस दौर के अंदर भी जो अपनी शायरी की और वो शायरी ऐसी कि आज तक 350-400 साल गुजरने के बाद भी आज भी लाजवाल है और आज भी रिलेटेबल है। तो कुछ मैं इस किताब के बारे में बताऊंगा और फिर मैं बताऊंगा कि मैंने इस किताब को आज के इजलास के लिए क्यों मुंतखब किया। इस किताब में नज़में हैं, शायरी है और वो शायरी कोई आम शायरी नहीं है बल्कि वो मौसीकी के रागों पर तरतीब दी गई शायरी है। जी हाँ, इस किताब का हर शेर आप किसी न किसी राग में पाएंगे। वो राग जो हिंदुस्तानी मौसीकी के अंदर या सिंध की मौसीकी के अंदर उस वक्त मुस्तामिल थे, शाह साहब ने उन्हीं रागों का इस्तेमाल करते हुए अपनी शायरी तरतीब दी। और यही वजह है कि आज भी हम जब इसकी शायरी को सुनते हैं तो हमें उसकी मौसीकियत जो है वो अपनी जानिब खींचती है। तो इस किताब की हर दास्तान किसी न किसी राग में और उसी राग में जब उसको पढ़ा जाता है या गाया जाता है तो उसका तासुर उजागर होता है। तो ये इस किताब की एक खुसूसियत है जो इसकी मौसीकियत है, اس کے پیچھے جو اس کی بناوٹ کے اندر جو موسیقیت ہے وہ اس کتاب کی ایک بہت بڑی کامیابی کی وجہ ہے۔ شاہ صاحب نے اس کتاب میں یا اپنی شاعری کے اندر 5 یا 6 جو بنیادی انسانی فطرت کے جذبات ہیں ان کو اجاگر کیا ہے۔ مثال کے طور پر وطن کی محبت، مثال کے طور پر صبر، مثال کے طور پر عشق، یا اپنے رب کی طرف جانے کا جو رستہ ہے اس کی تلاش، اس کی کھوج، اپنی زندگی کا کوئی مقصد تلاش کرنا ہے، اس کو کیسے تلاش کرنا ہے، یہ بنیادی موضوعات ہیں شاہ صاحب کے۔ اور شاہ صاحب نے یہ موضوعات کن کی زبانی بیان کیے ہیں؟ کسی مرد کی زبانی بیان نہیں کی۔ انہوں نے 7 خواتین کو چنا اور یہ 7 موضوعات انہوں نے ان 7 خواتین کی زبانی بیان کی۔ یہ 17ویں صدی میں سندھ کے اندر بیٹھا ہوا شخص لکھ رہا تھا۔ آپ اندازہ کریں، جب ہم فیمنزم کے نام سے بھی واقف نہیں تھے، جب ہمیں وومن رائٹس کا بھی پتہ نہیں تھا، جب ہم ان سارے تصورات سے بہت اوپر تھے اور بہت دور تھے، تب یہ چیز اور یہ کہانیاں لکھی گئیں، اور اس کے اندر جو سبق ہے وہ خواتین کی زبانی، خواتین کی جد و جہد، خواتین کی زندگی کے ذریعے بیان کیا۔ یہ 7 خواتین 7 ہیروئنز آف شاہ صاحب کہلاتی ہیں، 7 ہیروئنز آف سندھ کہلاتی ہیں۔ سندھ میں ان کو 7 سومریوں، ہم 7 سومریوں کے نام سے پہچانتے ہیں، اور ان کے نام بھی آپ کو شاید معلوم ہوں گے، بہت مشہور ہیں۔ سورٹ ایک خاتون تھی، اور ان کی داستان جو ہے وہ استقامت کی داستان ہے، کہ مشکل حالات میں بھی ریزیلینس، کہ اپنے مقصد پہ اٹے رہنا چاہے کچھ بھی ہو جائے، یہ ان کی داستان ہے۔ اسی طرح ایک کیریکٹر ہے نوری جام تماچی، یہ محبت کی داستان ہے، لیکن اس محبت کے اندر جو پیشن ہے، کہ جو انٹینسٹی ہے، جو شدت ہے، وہ شاہ صاحب نے بیان کی ہے کہ عشق کتنا اسٹرانگ ہو سکتا ہے، اور یہ ظاہر ایک خاتون کے طریقے سے ہی بیان کیا جا سکتا ہے، اور شاہ صاحب نے اس کو بڑا خوب بیان کیا ہے۔ اسی طرح ایک انسانی کیریکٹر کا جو کردار ہوتا ہے صبر کرنا، وہ لیلا کی زبانی بیان کیا ہے۔ لیلا چنیسر ایک داستان ہے اس کتاب کے اندر، اس میں صبر کو بیان کیا گیا کہ صبر اگر امپرسنیٹ ہوتا، اگر وہ انسانی شکل میں آتا تو وہ لیلا کی شکل میں آتا۔ اس کا تعلق اس لیلا سے نہیں، یہ لیلا مجنو والی نہیں لیلا، یہ ایک دوسری لیلا ہے۔ اسی طرح سونی کا کردار ہے، جو ہم سمجھتے ہیں کہ بے لوث محبت، یعنی آپ کسی سے محبت کیے جائیں اور اس کے توقع میں آپ کو کچھ بھی نہ ملے، تب بھی آپ کسی سے محبت کریں، یہ جو انسانی جذبہ ہے یہ ہمیں سونی کی زبانی سنایا جاتا ہے۔ اسی طرح سسی قربانی کی داستان ہے، مومل جو ہے وہ امتحان کی داستان ہے، اور سب سے آخر میں اور سب سے مشہور ماروی، جو حب الوطنی اور اپنی عزت نفس، جس کو آج ہم کہتے ہیں کہ عورتوں کے اندر جو تمکنت ہے، جو اپنی عزت نفس ہے کہ میں اپنے فیصلے خود کروں، یہ ہمیں ماروی سے ملتا ہے۔ تو یہ ان 7 خواتین کی وجہ سے میں نے آج اس کتاب کو چنا، اور اس کتاب کے اندر اتنی ڈیپتھ ہے، اتنا زیادہ گہرائی ہے کہ اس کے لیے شاید ایک پورا اجلاس بھی ہمیں منعقد کرنا پڑے، تاکہ ہم ان 7 خواتین کی زندگی اور ان کے جو سبق ہیں، اور شاہ صاحب نے کس طرح ان میں سے جو سبق نکالے ہیں، اس کو ہم اپنے طور پہ محسوس کر سکیں۔ تو یہ وجہ تھی میری آج کے اس بک ریویو کی۔ میزبان اجلاس آپ کے حوالے۔
تھینک یو ٹوسٹ ماسٹر فاروق، کتنے مجھے اس کا نام دوبارہ بھیج دیجیے گا پلیز، بک کا، میں ضرور اس کو ایٹ لیسٹ پڑھنے کی کوشش کروں گی۔
جی، اس کا نام ہے شاہ جو رسالو، شاہ عبد الطیف بٹائی کا رسالہ، یا اس طرح وہ یہ اردو میں، انگریزی میں اور سندھی تینوں زبانوں میں عام مل جاتی ہے۔
زبردست۔ Okay, and that brings us back to our main idea. So, the barriers that women face every day aren't just barriers that are physical. They're woven into the fabric of our societies. Despite the progress that we've seen, women still face significant barriers across many aspects of life. These challenges aren't just personal struggles, they are systemic issues that affect not one, not two, but millions of people. One major obstacle that women face is the gender pay gap, where they earn less than men for the same work, which in turn affects their long-term financial security. Limited career advancement is always another hurdle, with leadership positions always still being overwhelmingly held by men, making it harder for women to climb up the corporate ladder. And while they try to juggle the expectations of caregiving, places add additional pressure on women as they are often expected to balance work and family responsibilities with little to no institutional support. And even in education, as early on as that, bias against girls in STEM fields it discourages many from pursuing careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, limiting their potential from a very young age. Now, why don't we take all these thoughts, put them in perspective, and use different studies? 90% of people in the world, including women, hold biases against women. 340 million girls, and this is an IMF study. This is not a Harvard study or anything else. This is by the IMF. 340 million girls will live in extreme poverty by 2030. That's 5 years. It's 2025 now. In 5 years, there's going to be 340 million girls who will be living in extreme poverty. So that's 340 million sisters, cousins, wives, mothers, grandmothers. That's all of them. They are really living in extreme poverty. And for the global gender gaps to persist, it's going to take 3 centuries to overcome them. That's 300 years. Now, these barriers don't just affect individuals, they affect economies, communities, and future generations. Recognizing them is the first step in dismantling them. Now, Amelia Earhart, who we talked about before, the woman who flew across the Atlantic Ocean alone for the first time, she said the most difficult thing is the decision to act. The rest is merely tenacity, which I think is such a beautiful saying. Now, unconscious bias is the kryptonite of our success. Unconscious bias is one of the most insidious challenges because it often goes unnoticed. Unlike overt discrimination, which is easier to call out, unconscious bias operates in the background, with subtly shaping our perceptions, decisions, and interactions. Consider how assertive women are sometimes considered bossy, while assertive men are seen as strong leaders. Women in STEM or leadership positions frequently have to prove their expertise more than their male counterparts. The assumption that caregiving is a woman's responsibility often results in workplaces overlooking women for promotions, assuming they won't be as committed. Even in the arts, sports, and media, women's achievements are often scrutinized or more harshly downplayed altogether. A fascinating example of bias at work comes from the world of classical music. When an orchestra introduced blind auditions, where musicians performed behind a screen, the number of women who were hired increased dramatically. This simple change proved how much bias had been affecting hiring decisions, something many people did not realize that was happening. Bias is like a shadow. It follows us everywhere, even when we don't see it. It's right behind me as well as the shadow. The grim reaper of our success as a society, for not just women. But once we become aware of it, we have the power to change it. Sally Kohn had the thought that bias, like beauty, is in the eye of the beholder. Sally Kohn championed the power of empathy and civil discourse, advocating for a more compassionate and understanding society. Now, we talked about the impact on bias as a society, that bias has an impact on society, but what? Bias always begins early. Studies show by the age of 6, girls start to believe that they're less capable in certain fields, like math and science. Boys, too, are impacted, taught that emotions are a weakness. Bias does not begin in adulthood, it starts early, shaping the way children see themselves and the world around them. Many girls grow up internalizing the belief that they are less capable in certain roles. Meanwhile, boys are often discouraged from expressing emotions. reinforcing the stereotype that caregiving and empathy are only primarily female traits. For caregivers, unconscious bias means women are expected to take career breaks to care for children, which affects personal growth. Men who chose to be stay-at-home fathers face stigma. Hold on. I had the poll in front of me. Employers sometimes assume that mothers are less committed to their jobs, even when they work maybe as much as or even more as their male colleagues. Encouraging girls to take leadership roles and pursue their interests without limitation while teaching boys that emotions and caregiving are strengths can help break the cycle of bias before it even begins. So what does it take to break barriers? How do we do it? Breaking barriers isn't just about individual effort. It requires a collective shift in thinking and action. It takes courage to stand up against unfair systems, resilience to keep pushing forward despite setbacks, and education to help people recognize and challenge their own biases. Support networks are crucial. Women thrive when they are uplifted rather than silenced. When policies are put in place to show true equality, not just in words, but in practice. Systemic change requires more than just individual success stories. It needs institutions, workplaces, and communities to actively work towards fairness and inclusivity. So the question still stands. Are you ready to take a stand? Now, while we think about this, we have two impromptu speaking segments led by Toastmaster Sarjita Singh for English. Toastmaster Sarjita Singh is a student of psychology with a curious mind and insatiable love for reading, though her interests stretch far beyond than just books. A Toastmasters member since 2022 October, she has been on a journey of self-expression and growth, embracing the power of words and communication. When it comes to women who have shaped her life, she draws inspiration from a diverse and meaningful circle, her mother, her friends, each leaving a profound impact on her perspective and path. Please join me in welcoming her.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Isa, for that beautiful introduction. And I'm very, very glad and honored to be hosting this segment amidst this group of luminaries and these incredible people who are all teaching me so much with every single minute of this meeting. In the impromptu speaking segment, we invite volunteers to step up, take the stage, and they're given a topic on which they are requested to speak for 1 to 2 minutes with a 30-second grace period on the higher side. And in this extemporary public speaking segment, topics can range from anything to everything, but to make the challenge a bit easier or just to calm your nerves, just in case, I have 3 quick tips to offer to you. The first one is stop. You have 10 seconds before you start speaking after you've just heard your topic. In these 10 seconds, you can take your time to reflect on what you know and what you believe about the topic that you're given and how you want to say it. And on that, I have the following 2 tips. The second is story. What story do you want to tell? Is it your own anecdote or is it somebody else's story that you want to share? That story is what connects to your audience. And the third is structure. You can choose your opening and you can choose your message and a conclusion that goes with it. This is what will bring together a scintillating and effective table topic speech, and I'm really looking forward to listening to so many scintillating speeches coming up in this section. As Toastmaster Meher mentioned to me, we have time for 6 table topics, like both me and Toastmaster Sabha, like as we go one after the other. Yes, okay, fine. So I would like to invite a volunteer for the first speech. I do not have any volunteers. May I cold call? Toastmaster Meher, would you like to attempt the first?
Sure, why not? Why not?
Thank
You
you
can do
so
the opening.
much. Thank you so much for stepping up. And your topic is a paraphrased line from one of my favorite poems by Jane Hirschfield. The poem is called The Weighing, and the line's actually long, so I've paraphrased it. Your topic is so much grief and such little joy, and still the scales balance. So much grief, such little joy, and still the scales balance. Toastmaster Meher.
She looked over her shoulder before she picked up the pen to write her journal entry of the day. What should she write today? What had happened the previous year, or the year before, or the day before last? It had been a decade of struggle, more than a decade. She tried to remember the last time she had been truly in a most carefree manner, most unabashedly happy, just joyful, just feeling the pleasure, the innocent knowledge of being alive. The great happiness and the connection she felt when, as she trod her way to school, a bumblebee buzzed its way all the way down and sat on her hand and on her wrist. Usually it stung the people, the other children around her. But for her, it just sat there, as if sharing the secrets of the flowers as she walked to school. That was her last happy memory. Her last happy memory before she lost her mother. She had worshipped her mother. She loved her so tenderly. She could remember her earliest memory of her. It was as if in a haze of cloud that she saw her feeding her and loving her. The most prettiest and the most beautiful face in the world. But now she was here at this desk, alone, writing from her experiences, writing from her grievances, writing of all the oppression that she had been through. And yet those memories brought joy and hope and optimism, the words that she had learned from her beautiful mother. Yes, grief was an abundance, but the joy she felt in seeing the rose amongst the thorns, that simply could not be described. And she put her pen to paper. Back to you, tabletop minister.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Meher, for that beautiful speech. And I love the juxtaposition in your ending where you said it simply could not be described, but she put her pen to paper to start writing. That was very beautiful, along with the whole story. Now, I would like to invite Toastmaster Sabah to present the Urdu topic, but I think her introduction hasn't been given yet. May I invite Toastmaster Isa to introduce her so that we have just
Thank you, Sarajita. So the Urdu segment of Vinayas is led by Toastmaster Sabah Anjum, who is a passionate public speaker and a dedicated chartered accountant. Sabah has been a part of Toastmasters for the past 3 years. She's refining her skills and inspiring others along the way. With a keen interest in public speaking, she believes in the power of words to create impact and drive change. The woman who has played the most significant role in shaping her life is none other than her mother, a source of strength, wisdom, and unwavering support. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Hello everyone, can you hear me? Just give me a second. I need to just sort out some technicalities on my laptop. Just give me a second.
In the meantime, since I forgot to mention the timing guidelines for the speech, since the speech is 1 to 2 minutes long with a grace period of 30 seconds, at 1 minute, you will see the green card flash on the timer's Zoom background, and at 1 minute 30 seconds, the yellow card, and at 2 minutes, the red card, which implies that you have 30 seconds to conclude your speech. After which, unfortunately, a disqualification happens for the voting that takes place for the best team public speaker. So please be careful. Thank you. Yes.
So I'm back. My first speaker will be distinguished Toastmaster Abrar Wani. और टॉपिक आपके लिए ये है कि एक कामयाब मर्द के पीछे एक औरत का हाथ होता है. अबरार वानी, आपकी क्या राय है इस बारे में, कंसिडरिंग कि आप एक कामयाब मर्द हैं हमारे लिए?
आप मुझे सुन पा रहे हैं?
जी
जी, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. कहने को तो बहुत आम सी बात है, लेकिन काफी हद तक सच है. अंग्रेजी में कहा, man is lucky if he's the first love of a woman, and a woman is lucky if she loves a man. टोस्टमास्टर फेलोज और काबिल मोहतरम खवातीन,
Please turn your videos off, everyone. We seem to be
जी
having a band.
मैं वापस आ गया हूँ. It was disconnection on my part or what?
Looks like we are saving the bandwidth for you. You can start whenever you're ready.
Okay. So am I okay to go? Okay,
Yes, you are.
I was talking, a man is lucky if he's the first love of a woman, and a woman is lucky if she is the last love of a man. बड़ी आम सी बात है, लेकिन हकीकत इसी के अंदर पिन्हा है कि यकीनी तौर पर हर मर्द के पीछे यकीनी तौर पर एक औरत ही पिन्हा होती है. और उस बात की दलील बड़े अमूमी अल्फाज में या बड़े आसानी तरीके से बयान की जा सकती है. और ऐसा क्यों है? मेरी जिंदगी में बहुत सी खवातीन ने हिस्सा लिया, जिसमें मेरी बेटी, मेरी बहनें, मेरी खालाएं और सबसे बड़ी मेरी वालदा शामिल थी. और अगर दूसरे लफ्जों में देखा जाए तो मेरी जिंदगी में काफी उतार चढ़ाव भी आए, चूंकि मुझे जिंदगी में गालबन 5 से 6 दफा मोहब्बत हुई, और हर दफा मोहब्बत में मुझे ऐसा ही लगा कि ये मोहब्बत मेरी आखिरी मोहब्बत है. और ऑनेस्टली बताऊं, मैं अपनी सारी जिंदगी अपनी पहली मोहब्बत की तलाश में भटकता रहा. और ये बात है 2020 की, जब मैं अपने बिस्तर पर लेटा हुआ था और मेरी शरीका हयात मेरे साथ लेटी हुई थी, और सडनली मुझे फील हुआ कि कुछ गीलापन सा मेरे राइट साइड के ऊपर, और मैं उठा और देखा मेरे बेटे ने मेरे ऊपर पेशाब कर दिया. मैंने छलांग लगाई, मैंने कहा फिनिश, ये क्या कर दिया उसने. मेरी बीवी उस वक्त 102 बुखार से तप रही थी. उसने फौरन उस बच्चे को बड़े आराम से उठाया, मेरे गुस्से वाले लहजे को बड़े आराम से बर्दाश्त किया, और बच्चे को उठा के साइड पे किया, एक कपड़ा डाला, खुद उस जगह पे लेट गई. मुझे कहा आप कोने पे चले जाएं. उसी वक्त मुझे याद आया कि यार मेरी माँ भी यकीनी तौर पर मेरे साथ ऐसा ही करती रही, क्योंकि उस जमाने में तो पोतड़े होते थे, कपड़े होते थे, पैम्पर्स भी नहीं होते थे, तो वो क्या फेस करती होगी. मुझे ख्याल आया यार अगले दिन जाके मैं सुबह अपनी माँ से जाके कहूंगा कि यार वो मेरी पहली मोहब्बत है. लेकिन जब सुबह जाता हूँ और वो कैंसर से जूझ रही थी पिछले 4 सालों से, और वो आखिरी सांसें थी उसकी, लोग इकट्ठे हुए थे, मैंने लोगों को हटाया और देखा she was almost losing herself. And that day I realized how hard she worked throughout her life to make me a proper man. और डेफिनेटली मेरे पीछे मेरी वालदा का ही हाथ था. तो मैं अर्ज करता हूँ तमाम टोस्ट मास्टर साहिबान को, इससे पहले कि बहुत देर हो जाए, अपने पहली मोहब्बत को फौरन तलाश करके उसे कह दीजिए कि आई लव यू, और वो आपकी माँ से ज्यादा कोई नहीं। ओवर टू यू।
थैंक यू सो मच अब्रार, बहुत इमोशनल किया आपने सबको। और सुरुचिता, मुझे आप बताइएगा, मैंने आपको हैंड ओवर करना है फॉर नेक्स्ट टॉपिक। प्लीज कंटिन्यू।
Thank you so much. Our next, who would like to be our next volunteer? May I invite Toastmaster Umar Farooq? Are you there with us, Toastmaster Umar? Okay, looks like he stepped away. Toastmaster Mason?
Sure, but my camera is not working. I will be speaking without the camera.
That's totally fine. I think he's okay with that. That's not an issue at all. Your topic for this speech is how the masculine and feminine complement each other. How the masculine and feminine complement each other, Toastmaster Mason.
As our team OD mentioned in the biases, that men are told not to be emotional, told not to express their emotions, not to cry, and that ends up a man ends up bottling their feelings. But how masculine and feminine can complement each other? If a man were to express his feelings, if a man were to feel those feelings, and if a man were to share those feelings with anyone, with a friend, with his mother or his significant other, those feelings would not bottle up, and bottling up could cause an explosion in the wrong time. Instead, if they were to add some femininity, even emotions can't be called feminine. It's a part of both the genders. And if we men were to express those feelings, we would not explode at the wrong time, and we would be in touch with our own feelings, and we would be a stronger communicator as well. We should become better listeners, better speakers, better communicators, and that would make us a great partner to our significant others. And we can prevent some fights with our parents, our friends, and anyone we are close to. We should be in touch with our feelings, and that's how I believe masculinity and femininity complement each other.
Thank you so much for that realistic and speech, which was very grounded in lived experiences of so many people, and for saying those things out loud. And that message needs to reach every single person, because that's a bias we've been trying to break for so long. Now, I would like to invite Toastmaster Sabah to present the next one.
थैंक यू सो मच सुरेजिता। और हमारे साथ क्या डिस्टिंग्विश टोस्ट मास्टर राशिद साहब हैं? अगर वो हैं तो प्लीज बताइए। सर, आपके के लिए मेरे पास एक जबरदस्त सा टॉपिक है। एक माँ 5 बच्चे पाल लेती है, क्या 5 बच्चे मिलकर भी एक माँ की परवरिश का हक अदा कर सकते हैं? Over to you, Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Rashid Dastagir.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. एक माँ 5 बच्चे पाल लेती है, क्या 5 बच्चे मिलकर अपनी माँ का हक अदा कर सकते हैं? ये एक बहुत ही अच्छा सवाल है और मुश्किल सवाल भी है. एक्चुअली मेरा मानना ये है कि माँ बाप जो भी आपके ऊपर नवाज़ें कर रहे होते हैं, वो अगर आप पे कर्ज हैं तो वो कर्ज कभी भी आप अपने माँ बाप को नहीं लुटा सकते, बल्कि वो कर्ज आपने अपनी अगली नस्ल को लुटाना होता है. और इसी तरह ये कर्ज नस्ल बे नस्ल मुंतकिल होता जाता है और इसी तरह ही नस्ल इंसानी का इर्तका होता है. माँ बाप ने हमें जो भी अता किया, माँ बाप, ये एक कितनी हसीन सी बात है, ये कितनी अल्लाह ताला ने इस दुनिया में कितना इसमें रखा है कि एक छोटा सा बच्चा, एक दिन का बच्चा, माँ बाप और दूसरे रिश्तेदारों के दिल में उसकी इतनी मोहब्बत पैदा कर दी जाती है कि वो एक एक लम्हे उसके लिए बेकरार रहते हैं और एक हिफाजत का बंदोबस्त किया. और फिर माँ बाप वो रिश्ते बनाए कि जैसे किसी ने कहा कि वालिदैन बनना ऐसा ही है कि जैसे आपका दिल जो है वो आपके आसपास चहलकदमी करता रहे. तो माँ बाप के हम सब पे बहुत एहसान है और वो ही हमें बनाते हैं. जैसे कि मैंने पहले भी जिक्र किया कि अगर मैं अपनी माँ का जिक्र करूं तो मेरी माँ के 5 नहीं 6 बच्चे हैं माशाल्लाह से, और वो भी एक देहात से ताल्लुक़ रखती थी. उनकी भी इब्तदाई ज़िंदगी बड़ी मुश्किलात में गुजरी और उसके बाद जब हम कराची में आए आज से 30 साल पहले, तो हम सब लड़कपन में थे और अपनी इब्तदाई तालीम हासिल कर रहे थे. और हमारे जो वालिद थे उनका ज़्यादातर जो था वो रोज़गार के लिए बाहर गुजरता था, मुल्क से बाहर. तो ये मेरी वालदा ही थी कि जिन्होंने हम सब बच्चों की निगहदाश्त की. और हमारी, क्योंकि मेरे वालिद का ख्वाब था कि बच्चे अच्छा पढ़ें, अच्छी तालीम हासिल करें, लेकिन इस ख्वाब को मुमकिन बनाने के लिए मेरी वालदा ने ही जद्दोजहद की और आज हम सब अच्छी तालीम से आरास्ता हैं. तो उन्होंने जो हमारे लिए किया और जो आज तक कर रहे हैं, हम 6 भी मिलकर नहीं लुटा सकते. हाँ, ये कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि अपनी अगली नस्लों को कुछ मुंतकिल कर सकें. तो बहरहाल माँ बाप का एहसान लुटाना नामुमकिन है. बस क्या करें? मोहब्बत करें, मोहब्बत करें, मोहब्बत करें. अल्लाह हाफिज.
थैंक यू. बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग मैसेज है. क्या करें? सिर्फ मोहब्बत करें, मोहब्बत करें और सिर्फ मोहब्बत करें. बरकी राब्ते सिरे जीता के हवाले.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sabah. For our next speech, may I invite Toastmaster Tehseen? Are you there with us, Toastmaster Tehseen? Would you like to take this?
Okay, cool. Let me try.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for that enthusiasm. Your topic is, Toastmaster Tehseen, the kind of woman I dream to become. The kind of woman I dream to become, Toastmaster Tehseen.
Okay, thank you, everyone. It's a lovely session, and I'm really, really enjoying it, first of all. So, the kind of woman I really wanted to become, right? Okay. Happy Women's Day to everyone. When I was in my early childhood, of course, as I heard earlier, one of our TM was saying that our first love is always our mother. We inspired the way she carries herself. We inspired the way she takes care of us, our home, our relatives, and everything around us. So my mom used to wear saris at home as well. And myself and my elder brother were always looking like that. Oh, how gorgeous she is looking. And she was like first beauty which we have seen. And we really wanted to be like her and getting inspiration. Then we got into the schools, and then we had teachers. Then we were in college. We had friends. We have different people, different women from different industry, and we got inspiration from others. By the passage of time, inspiration changes, but the first love was always there, which was my mother, my Ammi. Nowadays, if I speak of myself, so I have actually, I switched my job last year, and I have a lady boss now. She is a well-known lady, and she is the first woman, first Pakistani woman who has represented Pakistan in Cannes Lions, which is the biggest advertising stage. Many of us have heard of it, of course, and reaching to Cannes Lions in itself is the biggest challenge. Every year, thousands of ladies, in fact, now the number is growing by the passage of time. The youngers and the elders one in different competitions participate in that. And she is the first Pakistani woman who staged that. And since then, on every year, she is the proud jury member. Apart from her career achievements, as I got closer to her as a person, we often have coffee catch-ups because she resides near my home and we all work from home for now. So I got this opportunity to see her often. Every time I meet her, I feel like I have came from an entirely different world of 30 to 60 minutes, which has transformed the Tehseen Fatma that was before those 30, 60 minutes and now what she is. The way she talks, the way she immediately triggers her positive things and the way she immediately analyzes that what is the entire fuss about or what is the entire situation. She never talk about the fuss which is going on, but she never talk about the mistakes which other people or we all are making. She always start with, okay, why? How? Okay, what? Why? Give me 5 whys. Give me this. I don't know that how she carries herself in this way, being a mother, being a wife, being a daughter-in-law, and all those roles she is playing as a woman. And of course, she is a single mother as well. And every time I meet her, it's been 8 months in this company, and every time I'm like, oh my God, I wish I would have met her earlier, and I would have invested my past decade to become a better version of Tehseen Fatma, influenced by Atiya Zedi. So this is the woman I'm inspired from, and I really want to be like her, and in fact, a better version of her. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that beautiful example, incredible example, and your beautiful story and your lessons from her. I can think of so many women in my life which give me the same impression when you meet them and you're like, oh my God, I wish I could be like that. And I am so sure you will learn as much as you want to and be a better version of her. All the best to you. And for our next topic, I would like to hand over the stage to Toastmaster Sabah.
थैंक यू सुजाता। मुझे आपसे एक परमिशन चाहिए क्योंकि मेरे पास एक रिक्वेस्ट चाहिए टोस्ट मास्टर असगर की तरफ से कि वो भी बात करना चाहते हैं उर्दू टॉपिक पे, और मेरे पास एक और टॉपिक है जो कि मेरे पास आयजा उस्मानी के लिए है। तो अगर आप इजाज़त दें तो मैं 2 स्पीकर्स को बुला सकती हूँ।
ये इजाजत टोस्टमास्टर मेहर या टोस्टमास्टर सिरल आपको दें कि मैं मुझे नहीं पता।
Go for
प्लीज
it.
गो। थैंक यू सो मच, बहुत शुक्रिया। हमारे पास स्पीकर हैं आयजा उस्मानी एंड शी लुक्स लाइक अ जेंसी फॉर मी, और मेरा सवाल उनसे है कि आप हमें बताएं कि आप समझती हैं कि पाकिस्तान में क्या औरत को उसके हुकूक आसानी से मिल पा रहे हैं। ओवर टू यू आयजा उस्मानी।
यस सबा, आपने बिल्कुल सही पहचाना, जेंजी हूँ। पाकिस्तान में हुकूक लेना डिपेंड्स सेक्टर पे, डिपेंड्स आपकी कम्युनिटी कौन सी है। मोस्टली अब जो आपके लीडर्स आ रहे हैं, दे आर वेरी 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 आर्टिकुलेट अबाउट एवरी सिंगल जेंडर इक्वलिटी इश्यूज, या फिर लोगों को कौन सी आपने वो देनी है, कहाँ पे पुश लेना है, कहाँ पे आप लोगों को थोड़ा सा वो करना है, एज देना है। there's you can get like a lot of opportunities in Pakistan, there's not an issue। लेकिन अगर आपको हकूक की बात आती है, हकूक आपको मिल जाएंगे as long as आप उनको सही जगह पे ढूंढ रहे हो। I think that's such an important thing कि आप जगह सही जगह पे हकूक नहीं ढूंढ रहे तो आपको बिल्कुल नहीं मिलेंगे, लेकिन आपको हकूक आपके वहां मिलेंगे जहाँ पे आप ढूंढ रहे हैं, जहाँ पे आप उनकी मेहनत कर रहे हैं। एंड आई थिंक दैट्स सच अ ह्यूज थिंग जो हम कभी कभार भूल जाते हैं। अगर आपको कोई ऐसी वर्क प्लेस है जो आपको आपके राइट्स नहीं दे रही है, अगर कोई ऐसी सिचुएशन है जो आपको आपके राइट्स नहीं दे रही, अगर कोई आपके फ्रेंड्स हैं जो आपको تھوڑا انڈر فیل کرواتے ہیں, then you need to leave that situation as soon as you can, because آپ اگر اپنے رائٹس کے اوپر کمپرومائز کرنا شروع کریں گے تو پھر آپ کو رائٹس نہیں ملیں گے. تھینک یو.
ویری ویل سیڈ. اینڈ بہت اچھا لگا, جینزی کو سن کے ہمیشہ بہت اچھا لگتا ہے. دے آلویز گیو اس اے ڈفرنٹ پرسپیکٹو اینڈ وی آر ایبل ٹو کنیکٹ ود دس جنریشن. اچھا جی, ہمارے نیکسٹ اسپیکر ہیں ٹوسٹ ماسٹر اصغر, اور ان کے لیے ٹاپک ہے ان کی بھرپور فرمائش پہ. اگر ایک والدہ اپنے بیٹے کی تربیت صحیح نہ کریں تو کیا ہمارے معاشرے کو بہت بڑے بڑے لیڈرز مل سکتے ہیں؟ اوور
بالکل
ٹو
نہیں
یو ٹوسٹ ماسٹر
بالکل نہیں
اصغر.
جی. اس کی مثال میں ہوں. بالکل نہیں مل سکتا. اگر ایک والدہ اپنے اولاد کی تربیت صحیح نہ کرے, نہیں مل سکتا. لیکن میرا خیال ہے کہ کسی ایک والدہ کی انفرادی ذمہ داری سے زیادہ ایک معاشرتی ذمہ داری ہوتی ہے. اور لیڈر کا بننا نہ تو ایک والدہ کا کمال ہوتا ہے, نہ والدہ کے بغیر ممکن ہوتا ہے. یہ ایک ارتقائی عمل ہے. اس میں بہت سارے معاشرتی عوامل ایک دوسرے کے کشمکش میں ایک دوسرے کے گرد گھومتے ہوئے کسی بھی بندے کو لیڈر یا رہنما بنانے میں اہم کردار ادا کرتے ہیں. البتہ یہ ہو سکتا ہے کہ کوئی خاتون اگر ابھر کر سامنے آئے لیڈر کے طور پر, جس طرح اس خاتون کے لیڈر کے طور پر ابھرنے میں بہت سارے مردوں کا کردار ہوتا ہے, بالکل اسی طرح ایک مرد کے ابھر کر سامنے آ کر ایک رہنما کے کردار میں بہت سارے خواتین کا ہاتھ ہوتا ہے. لیکن آج کے دن کی مناسبت سے اس بات کو اس زاویے سے دیکھنا میرا خیال ہے کہ زیادہ مہم ہے کہ خواتین از خود مختلف کرداروں میں کس طرح ابھر کر سامنے آتی ہیں اور انہیں کس طرح ایک معاشرتی دشواریوں کا سامنا کرنا پڑتا ہے. میں پھر اپنے اس پہلے یا دوسرے جملے کی طرف جاؤں گا کہ خواتین کا ابھرنا بھی کسی ایک کا ایک انڈیویجول کردار نہیں ہوتا. ہم سب ایک بہت بڑے کہانی کے مختلف کردار ہیں اور ایک ارتقائی عمل سے گزر رہے ہیں, جن سے گزر کر البتہ یہ ہو سکتا ہے اس میں کوئی دو رائے نہیں ہے کہ ہماری سمت درست ہے, ہم درست سمت پہ جا رہے ہیں. البتہ ہمارا سفر آہستہ ہے اور یہ آہستگی کے ساتھ جائے گا. ہر چیز کل صبح ٹھیک نہیں ہوگی, کیونکہ ہمیں انڈیویجول لیول پہ بدلنا ہے, ہمیں برادری کے لیول پہ بدلنا ہے, محلے کے لیول پہ بدلنا ہے, ہمیں ریاست کے لیول پہ بدلنا ہے, ریاست کی آئیڈیالوجی کے لیول پہ ہمیں بدلنا ہے. تو اس بہت سالی بدلاؤ کے نتیجے میں ہماری رفتار یقیناً سلو ہے, کم ہے. لیکن خواتین کا اپنا ایک باشعور ہونا, اویئر ہونا اور اپنے آپ کو پہچاننا اور اس کو بڑھانا, میرا نہیں خیال کہ ہم یا مرد یا عورت غلطیوں سے مبرہ ہوتے ہیں. ہر کوئی اپنے حصے کی غلطی کرتا جاتا ہے. لیکن پچھلے 100 سالوں میں یا 150 سالوں میں ہم نے دیکھا کہ وہ معاشرتی تبدیلیاں اتنی تیزی کے ساتھ آ گئی کہ ہر کوئی, چاہے وہ مرد ہو یا عورت ہو, وہ اب لیڈر بن سکتا ہے. جہاں مردوں نے لیڈرشپ کے لیے جہاں مردوں نے لیڈرشپ تھام رکھا تھا, تو ایسے بھی بہت سارے مرد تھے جنہوں نے خواتین کو اپنے ساتھ لینے کی کوشش کی. مثلا اگر جتنی بھی ہماری انقلابی تحریکیں ہوئی برصغیر میں, مجھے آج بھی مجاز کا وہ شعر یاد ہے جو وہ خواتین کو اپنے تحریکوں میں شامل کرنے کے لیے کہتا تھا کہ تیرے ماتھے پہ یہ آنچل بہت ہی خوب ہے, لیکن تو اس آنچل سے ایک پرچم بنا لیتی تو اچھا تھا. ایک انقلابی طریقے سے کس طرح خواتین کو باشعور بنانا اور رہنما کرنا. آپ کے سوال کی جانب لوٹتے ہوئے کہ کیا ایک والدہ کا کردار ہوتا ہے؟ یقیناً ہوتا ہے. صرف اس والدہ کا یہ کردار نہیں ہوتا. یہ بات ہمیں ہمیشہ جذبات کو پرے رکھ کر یہ سمجھنی چاہیے کہ معاشرہ کسی ایک انڈیویجول سے نہیں بنتا, البتہ اس کا کردار اہمیت کا عامل ضرور ہوتا ہے. شمع محفل آپ کے حوالے.
تھینک یو, رائٹ چوائس, بہت اچھا لگا. اور آج ایک مرد نے بتایا کہ والدہ پہ اتنا پریشر نہ ڈالیں, कि सारा उसी के कंधों पे रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ना डालें कि सिर्फ उसी की जिम्मेदारी है एक मर्द की तरबियत करना। वेरी ग्रेट, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दिस कॉन्सेप्ट। अब मुझे बल्कि राब्ते किसके हवाले करने हैं, सृजिता के? एनी
जी
आइडिया?
मैं
One last topic. One last topic. We're
ओके
woefully out of time. One last topic. To Toastmaster Srijita.
thank you
ओके
so much. But before I
You need
present
to
my
pick one.
topic,
You need to pick one person quickly.
yes, very clear, I'll do that. But just before I pick one person, I would like to share that the speech that Toastmaster Asghar gave and wo Aanchal ka parcham bana le, that reminded me of this anecdote in Malala Yousafzai's memoir, where she writes that when she was shot and the helicopter that carried her to the hospital was leaving from above her house, her mother took her hijab and like kind of flew it to the sky to pray to God and ask for grace and support and life for her daughter. And that image was so profound, and that line was so profound that I am very, very grateful to Toastmaster Asghar for giving that speech. Thank you so much. And for the last topic of the day, in the table topic segment, I would like to invite Toastmaster Sadia. Are you there with us, Toastmaster Sadia? Would you like to take this?
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
जी बिल्कुल, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। Toastmaster Sadia, your topic is softness is strength. Softness is strength. Toastmaster Sadia.
As on 8 March, I'm recalling my mother's advice, my mother way of uplifting me. And I still remember the harsh words that she always uttered whenever I encounter any issue, anything that I messed up, messing up in the kitchen, and or even arguing with my elder brothers and sisters. But when I got married, I realized that the harshness, that was not the harshness, that was not the strictness, it was the politeness. It was one of the things that she wanted me to be a strong woman. She, with the harshness, she had a soft lessons for me to make myself more strong. And that now I reciprocate in my life, to be as soft as I can, to be as harsh as my mother, for my daughter to be as strong as I am today. Softness never means, or harsh words never means that the other one, even the mother, is doing something that she is not. I personally, when I became a mother, I realized that whenever I say anything harsh to my daughter or my son, I got tears in my eyes, because at heart she made me soft. She made me to understand the things, but at some stages I need to be strong. I need to be strong enough to take care of my family, to take care of my children, to make them as strong to work forward. So softness is something that everyone has in their heart. A mother is complete picture of softness, but the harsh words, the dant, but whatever you say, is always for their children, for what they want to, and sometimes that has to be done. So being a mother, I believe that everyone is very soft and everyone is very polite, but always harshness always has the double reaction of politeness. Thank you.
May I add a word here? Aiza, this was actually for you. मम्मा डांट टपट ऐसी ही करती हैं, अंदर से सॉफ्ट है.
I realized it. हाँ.
So now you have आपने सबको बता दिया कि यहाँ पे अम्मा बेटी बैठे हैं.
Meetum did it last time.
So the only reason I joined is to just see कि मेरी बेटी आज कर क्या रही है यहाँ पे. So thank you so much. I wasn't expecting that मुझे
Yes.
बुला जाएगा. Thank you.
Thank you. A very quick word. We had extended the meeting by half an hour, and that timeline extended. I think that went off half an hour ago at least. I'm going to beg your indulgence. I'm going to beg your forgiveness for another half an hour extension. I know that there are times for afternoon prayer. I need to check with the general evaluator whether she would be available for the evaluation round if we extend it by half an hour.
I will
Yes,
second
I
that.
am. Yes, I am always available and all ears with you.
Thank you. Those of you who need to drop off the meeting for offering their prayers, please do so. And my apologies for extending the meeting. It's too great a topic. It's too difficult a decision to be a timer at this meeting and restrict all of you. Thank you so very much. And over to you, Toastmaster of the day, for the next.
Sorry, Toastmaster Samad, can you tell me the name of the speakers who qualified for the poll?
Toastmaster Cyril, I can tell you that I'll send it to you by private chat. 1, 2, 3 speakers exceeded, unfortunately. I'll send it to you by private chat. Yeah.
Okay, so now it's time for our interpretive reading segment with Toastmaster Gulezara and Toastmaster Ghazala Alam. She'll be joining by video. Toastmaster Gulezara is a dynamic professional with a passion for exploration. Gulezara is an engineer by profession and a Toastmasters member since 2023. Her love of reading and traveling reflects her curiosity, whether it's through the pages of a book or roads less traveled. She is always seeking new experiences and knowledge. At the core of her journey is her mother, the guiding force who has shaped her into the person she is today. Her mother's influence continues to inspire her both personally and professionally. Whereas Toastmaster Ghazala Alam is a chairperson of AMCO Social Services in the US and a seasoned Toastmaster. With a wealth of experience and heart dedicated to service, let's welcome these two incredible women.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aiza. And happy Women's Day to all, especially the wonderful ladies present here today. So this segment focuses on bringing written words to life through vocal expression and storytelling. We select and present literary works aiming to convey the emotions, tone, and essence of the text to celebrate language. And as Toastmaster Ghazala, a scintillating speaker with a heart of gold, as she's not here today, she has shared a heartfelt video message in honor of International Women's Day, where she recites a poem that deeply resonates with her as a person. Let's hear it from her first. Over to you, Toastmaster Meher.
Please allow me to share her video.
International Women's Day is celebrated to honor women's achievements in various fields, raise awareness about gender equality and women's rights, and promote the empowerment of women worldwide. It serves as a reminder of the ongoing efforts to eliminate discrimination, bias, and violence against women, and to create a more inclusive and equitable society for all individuals. Women appreciate being complimented and told that they look beautiful. So do I. But it is important to remember that there is more to a woman than just her physical beauty. Women, like anyone else, value appreciation and compliments on their appearance, as it can boost their confidence and make them feel good about themselves. However, it is crucial to recognize that a woman's worth extends far beyond her physical attractiveness. My husband, who passed away 16 years ago, used to sing the song for me. It's a song from a famous Bollywood movie. एक लड़की को देखा तो ऐसा लगा जैसे खिलता गुलाब, जैसे शायर का ख्वाब, जैसे उजली किरण, जैसे बन में हिरन, जैसे चांदनी रात, जैसे नरमी की बात, जैसे बल खाती बेल, जैसे लहरों का खेल. While my husband's appreciation of my looks was cherished, his unwavering support, encouragement, and recognition of my ambitions have been the true pillars of our relationship. He fostered an environment where my dreams were not just acknowledged but actively nurtured, allowing me the freedom to pursue my aspirations and grow into my fullest potential. Equally significant is the influence of my father, who instilled in me a sense of limitless possibility from a young age. His encouragement to aim high, to dream boldly, and to never shy away from reaching for the stars has been a guiding light throughout my life. His belief in my capabilities has been a source of strength, empowering me to embrace challenges, overcome obstacles, and strive for excellence. In my life, both my husband and father have played pivotal roles in shaping my journey. The combined impact of these two remarkable men has not only shaped my identity, but has also underscored the profound importance of support, encouragement, and empowerment in a woman's journey. Their belief in me, beyond superficial attributes, has been instrumental in nurturing my confidence, resilience, and determination to carve my path and make a meaningful impact in the world, which I think I am doing. I will be reciting a beautiful nazm that is very close to my heart. अपनी तस्वीर मुझे आप बनानी होगी, written by Muhtarma Naseem Sayyed, where she is saying that a woman's worth transcends the confines of physical beauty. It encompasses her intellect, compassion, resilience, creativity, and myriad other qualities that make her a unique and valuable individual. Recognizing and appreciating the depth of a woman's character, her accomplishments, and the richness of her inner world is crucial in fostering a society that values women for their inherent worth and contributions to various spheres of life. मुलाहिज़ा फरमाइए, मेरे फनकार मुझे खूब तराशा तूने, आँख नीलम की, बदन चांदी का, याकूत के लब, ये तेरे ज़ौक़ तलब के भी मयार हैं अजब, पाँव में मेरी ये पाज़ेब सजा दी तूने, नुक़रे तार में आवाज़ मुंढा दी तूने, और फिर जवाहिर से जड़ी कीमती मूरत मेरी अपने सामान तअय्युश में लगा दी तूने। मैंने माना कि हसी है तेरा शाहकार, मगर तेरे शाहकार में मुझ जैसी कोई भी बात नहीं। तुझको नीलम सी नजर आती हैं ये आंखें मेरी, दर्द के इनमें समंदर नहीं देखे तूने जबकि लबो रुखसार की खत्ताती की, दिल पे जो वर्क लिखे थे नहीं देखे तूने। मेरे फनकार तेरे ज़ौक़, तेरे फन का कमाल, मेरे पिंदार की कीमत न चुका पाएगा। तूने तराशे हैं बुत या तो तराशे है खुदा, तू भला क्या मेरी तस्वीर बना पाएगा। तेरे औराख से ये शक्ल मिटानी होगी, अपनी तस्वीर मुझे आप बनानी होगी। होश भी, जुर्रते गुफ्तार भी, बीनाई भी, जुर्रते इश्क भी है, ज़ब्त की रानाई भी। जितने जौहर है नमू मेरी तामीर में है, जितने जौहर है नमू मेरी तामीर में है। देख देख ये रंग ताज़ा, देख ये रंग जो ताज़ा मेरी तस्वीर में है। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ghazala, for that wonderful piece. We have just a request from a member to share her story for the extempore writing. So I'd like to request the interpreter reading curator if we can pause her segment here.
Yeah,
And
okay, sure, go ahead, please.
You can continue with yours. Toastmaster Tehseen, thank you so much for participating, and the stage is now yours.
Thank you very much, first of all, for adhering to this. I know this is against the ethics, but I really, really want to participate and I'm enjoying this session a lot. So thank you very much. So let's start. So मेरे आज के खिताब का उन्वान है वजूद ज़न से है कायनात में रंग. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Okay, great. किसी मशहूर मुफक्किर का कॉल है, औरत जब नज़ाकत छोड़कर मजबूती थाम ले तो उस जैसा पत्थर कोई नहीं हो सकता. सिन्फ़े नज़ाकत से सिन्फ़े आहन तक का सफ़र जिस बखूबी से एक औरत निभा सकती है, ये एक मिसाल अपने आप है. कहा जाता है कि मंजिलें हमेशा उन्हीं को मिलती हैं जो मंजिलों को तलाश करते हैं. अगरचे उमूमन हमारे मशरक़ी माशरे में औरत का किरदार माँ, बहन, बीवी, बेटी तक ही महदूद होता है और इन्हीं के फ़राइज़ को अंजाम देने तक महदूद किया जाता है, और इसमें कुछ गलत भी नहीं है. लेकिन जनाब स्पीकर और मेरे मोअज़्ज़ज़ सामीन, क्या बात सिर्फ सही और गलत तक की है? क्या सिर्फ और सिर्फ हर औरत इजाज़त की मुंतज़िर ही रहनी चाहिए? इखलाकी और माशरती कदरों के साथ साथ मजहबी जिम्मेदारियां बखूबी निभाना एक सिन्फ़े नज़ाकत बखूबी जानती है. ना सिर्फ इन तमाम किरदारों में आप सिन्फ़े आहन है, बल्कि इन जिम्मेदारियों के साथ आज की सिन्फ़े नाजुक बखूबी ज़माने के हम पल्ला और हम मिजाज भी है. पायलट, इंजीनियर, मार्केटियर, एस्ट्रोनॉट और न जाने क्या क्या. एक लंबी फहरिस्त है जहां पे आज की सिन्फ़े आहन अपने आप का लोहा मनवा चुकी है ग्लोबल स्टेज पर. मेरे अजीज दोस्तों, असल तमगा ये नहीं है कि वो एक माँ, बहन, बेटी, बहू होने के साथ साथ डॉक्टर, इंजीनियर और एस्ट्रोनॉट भी है, बल्कि असल तमगा ये है कि इन मशरकी चूड़ियों और पायलों की रिवायात में जकड़ी ये औरत अपनी ज़ात के गिर्द मौजूद हर ज़ात से एक तवील और हर मोड़ पर टूट जाने वाली जंग के बाद खुद को ज़माने के हम पल्ला करने के लिए बिला आखिर खड़ी होती है. वो इजाज़त जो इसके रब ने इसे दी है, वो इजाज़त की एक तवील जंग के बाद अपने सफ़र की इब्तिदा करती है. ये औरत, यही बात जो मैंने अपने खिताब के शुरू में कही थी कि औरत जब मजबूती से थाम ले तो इससे मजबूत पत्थर कोई नहीं हो सकता. तो आइए कायनात के इस हुस्ने ज़न की अंदरूनी, बैरूनी, बिलवास्ता और बिलावास्ता طویل جنگوں کو خراج تحسین پیش کرتے ہیں جو کہ آج کے دن کی بہت مناسبت بھی ہے. ان تمام صنف آہن کو جو اپنے خوابوں کو پورا کر سکتی ہیں، کر چکی ہیں، یا اس سے زیادہ بلکہ ان سے زیادہ ان کو جو اس جنگ میں ہیں یا اس جنگ سے گزر رہی ہیں یا آنے والے دنوں میں اس جنگ کا حصہ بنیں گی. ڈاکٹر بن جانا صرف ایک تمغہ نہیں ہے ایک عورت کے لیے. یہ میرا خیال ہے، آپ اس سے اگری یا ڈس اگری کر سکتے ہیں. تمغہ یہ ہے کہ عورت جس جرت سے جو خود کو جب خود کی قدر اور خود کی صلاحیتوں کو پہچان لیتی ہے اور پھر اس بات کا ارادہ کرتی ہے کہ اب میں نے خدا کی دی ہوئی ان صلاحیتوں کو اس دنیا کے ہم پلہ چلنے کے لیے یوز کرنا ہے، تو وہ اصل تمغہ ہے جو ہر اس عورت کو بھی ملنا چاہیے جو بھلے اس وقت گھر میں بیٹھی ہے اور وہ ڈاکٹر نہیں بن سکی. تو ان سب کو میرا آج کا پیغام یہ ہے، جو آپ سب نے ایک بہت مشہور شعر ہے سنا بھی، شعر ہے یا قول ہے، میرا خیال ہے قول ہے، جو ہم نے سب نے سنا ہوگا کہیں نہ کہیں. منزلیں چاہے کتنی اونچی کیوں نہ ہو، راستے ہمیشہ پیروں کے نیچے ہی ہوتے ہیں اور آپ ان کے اوپر. شکریہ.
بہت بہت شکریہ ٹوسٹ ماسٹر تحسین کہ آپ نے اتنی عمدگی سے اپنے خیالات کو پیش کیا اور کتنی بہترین طریقے سے آپ نے اپنے لفظ کو الفاظ کو پرو کر آپ نے ہمارے دل جیت لیے ہیں. سچی جو بات ہے. Thank you so much for staying on with us till this time and all the best for your commitment. Please do join back. Please do share your number with me. We would like to
I
get in
would
touch with
love to. مجھے پتا نہیں تھا اس سیشن کا. ہمارے ٹوسٹ ماسٹر تھینک یو سو مچ طلحہ کہ آپ نے گروپ میں انویٹیشن بھیجا. اینڈ آئی لو دس سیشن. یو آل آر امیزنگ اسپیکرز. مجھے تو بہت انسپریشن ملی ہے. اینڈ آئی ووڈ لو ٹو بی ان ٹچ ود یو آل تاکہ میں لرن کر سکوں آپ جیسا. تھینک یو اینڈ ہیو اے گریٹ ڈے. اللہ حافظ. سوری
Thank
آئی
you
ہیو ٹو
so much.
لیو. آئی ایم ریئلی سوری.
بہت شکریہ ہماری طرف سے معذرت.
اللہ حافظ.
جی.
Having you here.
Right. And so now back to our regular scheduling with Toastmaster Gulizera.
تھینک یو ٹوسٹ ماسٹر مہر. آج اتنی ساری قابل خواتین کے ساتھ یہاں موجود ہو کر ایک تمکنت کا احساس ہو رہا ہے. آئی تھنک دیر از اے پول آن دا اسکرین. یس, لیٹس پول فرسٹ اینڈ دین آئی کنٹینیو. اوکے, اس سے پہلے کہ میں اپنی نظم کی طرف آؤں, میں 3 عورتوں کا یہاں پر ذکر کرنا چاہوں گی. ایک میری والدہ ہیں. جتنے بھی لفظ ہیں کم ہیں, جتنے بھی واقعات کم ہیں, پوری زندگی انہی کے اراؤنڈ موو کرتی ہے. ہاں, لیکن ایک بات جو قابل ذکر ہے وہ یہ کہ میری والدہ اپنی تعلیم مکمل نہیں کر پائی تھی گریجویشن کی, کیونکہ نانا ابو کا انتقال ہو گیا تھا اور پھر نانی کو تمام بچوں کو پالنا تھا. اس پریشر کی وجہ سے شاید ظاہر ہے جو ہماری سوسائٹی میں الٹیمیٹلی شادی ہو گئی اور شادی کے بعد اولاد اور پھر اولاد کی تربیت اور اس میں وقت گزرتا چلا گیا. تو جس وقت میں نے گریجویشن کی میں اپنی والدہ کو ساتھ نہیں لے کر جا سکی تھی, کیونکہ میرے دماغ میں تھا کہ صرف ایک بندے کو ساتھ لے کر جانا الاؤ ہے, تو میں اپنے فادر کو لے گئی تھی. لیکن جس وقت میں نے ماسٹرز کیا اس وقت میں اپنے دونوں پیرنٹس کو لے کر گئی, اور جس لمحے میری والدہ نے میرا گولڈ میڈل اپنے گردن کے گرد پہنا, وہ لمحہ تھا شاید میں نے اتنی خوشی محسوس نہیں کی تھی کہ وہ میڈل میں نے پہنا ہو. اس لمحے مجھے لگا کہ میری والدہ نے اپنی تعلیم مکمل کر لی ہے اینڈ شی ہیز ڈن ہر ماسٹرز. تو اس لمحے یہ بھی احساس ہوا کہ ہمارے ماں باپ ہمارے تھرو اپنی زندگی گزارتے ہیں. اٹس ناٹ جسٹ us living our lives, they are living our lives and it's not their stories but it's our story as well. دوسری عورت مجھے ملی کیونکہ یہاں ساری ہی عورتوں کے ساتھ میرا تعلق رہا ہے اور کوئی نہ کوئی وہ رہی ہے, تعلق کی وجہ سے کوئی نہ کوئی خاص رشتہ رہا ہے, تو ہر ایک کے واقعات بیان کرنا ممکن نہیں ہے. کچھ واقعات دماغ میں اسٹینڈ آؤٹ کر رہے ہیں. मैं सफ़र पे थी स्कर्दू में, तो एक रात हमें कहीं रुकना था। होस्ट जो थे वो स्कर्दू मेन सिटी आ गए और हम लोग एक इलाके में थे, दूर अफ्तादा इलाके में थे, दूर क्वाइट डिस्टेंट प्लेस। तो इंस्टेंटली लाइक ऑन द स्पॉट हमें किसी के घर रुकना पड़ा। तो वो जो खातून थी जो वहाँ उस घर की मालिका थी, उन्हें उर्दू नहीं आती थी, उन्हें कोई लैंग्वेज नहीं आती थी, उन्हें बल्ती आती थी, एंड देयर वाज क्वाइट अ कम्युनिकेशन गैप बिटवीन अस। लेकिन उस रात को मैंने ऐसे ही गुजारा उनके घर पे जैसे मैंने अपने घर रात गुजारी हो, उतनी ही प्रोटेक्शन, उतनी ही सेफ्टी और उतने ही सुकून के साथ। और वो सारा कुछ क्रेडिट गोज टू दैट वुमन। उस लम्हे उस औरत ने मेरे लिए कम्युनिकेशन रीडिफाइन कर दी थी कि कम्युनिकेट करने के लिए जबान का एक होना या जबान का समझ आना जरूरी नहीं है। देयर इज मोर टू कम्युनिकेशन देन जस्ट वर्ड्स एंड लैंग्वेज. And I think since then I have started seeing communication in a new light. तीसरी औरत है, पिछले साल अपनी सालगिरह के दिन मैंने सोचा एक दूर अफ्तादा गांव में जाने का जो अटक के करीब था। मेरी एक दोस्त है वहां रहती है, मैंने सोचा उसके घर जाती हूँ। उम्र में मुझसे बहुत छोटी थी। उसके घर जाकर कुछ देर बैठना हुआ, तो उसने कहा मैं बिरयानी बनाती हूँ, आप बैठें। I sat while she cooked, but when she got a chance to sit with me, I came to know that her parents are divorced. And I said, okay. I said, like in talk, I asked, what was the reason? She said, my father used to beat up my mother. He used to hit her with anything that he got. I was like, okay. And she was just 18 years old. Right now, she's just 18 or 19. So I was like, okay. And she's herself divorced because no one asked her consent while getting her married. So I was like, okay, where was your brother all this time? Her brother is actually a Toastmaster. तो शी वाज लाइक वो इस्लामाबाद में होता था, अपनी पढ़ाई कंटिन्यू कर रहा था। मीनवाइल, एंड शी हैड टू विटनेस ऑल दिस, मीनवाइल इन पैरेलल जब हम थोड़ी देर के लिए बाहर जाने वाले थे, तो आई वॉज वेयरिंग अ वेरी लॉन्ग फ्रॉक विच वॉज वेरी लूज बाय द वे. इट वॉजंट शोइंग माई फिजिक बाय एनी मीन्स दैट आई एम like a woman, and I was wearing my normal hijab. So her brother told her, ask her to wear a chadar. I asked why. I am already wearing such clothes that don't reveal. So he said, because gaon wale mind karte hain. They feel offended if you go out, if women go out like this. There was such irony in it. There was this society that is not letting her express, the women let themselves express themselves clearly, even in the form of their clothes, even when there is nothing offensive. And there was this thing going on in her household that needed attention from her brother, and she had to face all this herself. And despite all this, when she came to drop me to my home, she said, how are you? Are you feeling okay? Are you scared that your mother will scold you? We have gotten late. He said, how can you even think of me while so much is going on? Aren't you tired by cooking everything and traveling back with me to my home? She said, no, I feel it's okay. So I believe मैं ऐसी औरतों से मिली हूँ who are actually a picture of courage, resilience. तो हर एक कहानी जो है वो अपने आप में पूरी कायनात है। ऐसी औरतों के नाम मेरी तरफ से एक छोटी सी नज़म है जिसका उन्वान है, मैं इंसान हूँ। मैं पानी नहीं इंसान हूँ, पानी होती तो एक सिमत में बहे जाती, पत्थर से टकराकर पाश पाश हो जाती, अपनी ही मौजों के भंवर से चकरा जाती। अब चाहूं तो सिमत बदलूं, चाहे जिस ओर बह जाऊं, बढ़ते कदम ना रुकने पाए, चाहे तूफान या आंधी आए। आग से बनी चिंगारी नहीं इंसान हूं, जलते कोयलों को सुलगता छोड़ जाए, जिसकी तपिश से जमाना जल जाए। मैं वो नारी नहीं, हाँ, पर हिद्दत के कुर्ब से कुंदन हो जाऊं, बाहर दीवार तो अंदर साहिबा बन जाऊं। वो जो सब फना हो जाने के बाद एक यादगार होकर रह जाए। बिन देखी हवा नहीं इंसान हूं, वो जो चलती है मर्जी से अपनी, कभी आंधी कभी बादे सुख बनकर, उस पर है जोर किसका, हाँ, पर मेरी रफ्तार गुफ्तार का रंग निराला है इन्हीं फिजाओं में जो बिखरता, किसी के संग कदम से कदम मिलाकर जब चलूं जहां से गुजर जाऊं। मैं खाक से बनी इंसान हूं, खाक से जुड़कर धूप में तपकर पुख्ता हो जाने वाली मूरत, फिर खाक में मिलकर खाक हो जाऊं कि मट्टी हूं, असल अपना कैसे भूल जाऊं। इसके साथ ही मैं अपने सेगमेंट का इख्तिताम करती हूँ एंड आई बिलीव इट्स टाइम फॉर द लेट्स वर्ड इट सेगमेंट टू बैक टू द scintillating speaker Toastmaster Samreen Mukhtar.
थैंक यू सो मच गुले जहरा। और आपने एक समा बांध दिया। We all were spellbound, not only by the poem that you shared, but also by the three stories of the three women that have impacted your life. Very, very relatable. And I think every single person could have related it to some stories in their mind because they have met somewhere a woman who helped them out in a time of need, or a woman who was so broken yet resilient and they were awestruck by their strength. Uh, TMOD, would you like to start the segment or should I just continue?
Just continue.
Okay, जी, thank you so much. Let's continue our Let's Word It, जिसका टॉपिक था वजूद जन से है तस्वीर कायनात में रंग। और इस उर्दू में हमारे पास दो लिखारी थे जिन्होंने इसके ऊपर लिखना था, और इंग्लिश में भी हमारे पास दो ही पार्टिसिपेंट्स थे who would be writing in English for the topic The existence of women brings color to the universe. Out of the two Urdu speakers, तहसीन फातिमा अपनी पूरी तमतराक और तमकनत के साथ अपनी तकरीर पेश करके जा चुकी हैं. So I will now move on to the English speech so that we can have this very nice balance of Urdu and English. And Cyril, Paul, you will be next. Please come in and share your writings with us.
Toastmaster Samreen, I'm a little occupied. Let
Uh-huh.
TVH go in my state.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Am I clear? Because, okay. So let me start and let me also time myself so that Cyril can breathe a sigh of relief for a moment. All right. Get up. It's Sunday and we need to go to Pupo's house. Like clockwork, this edict from my father pierced my ears precisely at 10 a.m. every other Sunday. Oh God, no, not again. I screamed inside. Of course, I dare not say it out loud, but my father, ever vigilant, read it on my face. Beta, this is my only living sister, and she cannot move very well. If we don't go to meet her, who will? This was his equivalent of clasping his hands, tearing up his eyes, and batting his eyelashes at me. And of course, he was my father, so I had no option but to relent. On to task number 2, going to my mother and presenting this idea to her. Her response to this initiative used to vary between a resigned, okay, I'll go along, to a guttural, absolutely not. This time it was the latter. So we set out. We left our locality and moved towards my aunt's house. Of course, like all brothers from the subcontinent, my father would rather die than to go empty-handed to his sister's house. So we stopped at a sweetmeat shop called Mahmood Sweets and picked up his old favorite, the Balu Shahi. A favorite of my father's, not his sister's. The sister in question had diabetes. Armed with this scintillating treat, we made our way and reached our destination. A sense of dread and foreboding increased with every step that we made from our car to the gate. I knocked, hoping against hope that there would be no answer, that they would have gone somewhere, and we would be spared from this ordeal. Alas, Then I would remember that my paternal aunt was all but paralyzed due to severe arthritis and a host of other ailments. And that is why every time the gate opened and my worst fears were realized, we were greeted by her eldest son, Imran, full of sound and fury, bitterness and sarcasm, constantly jabbing at my father, my mother, and our whole family. Because 35 years ago, my father made the grave mistake of marrying outside the extended family and building a life as a PhD professor in another city. We in the subcontinent hate anyone who does well, don't we? We were ushered inside, and I saw the first dash of color in this grim scenario. My maternal aunt, my pupo, beckoning us from afar, all but identical to my father, but dressed in the most enchanting peach ensemble. One of her daughters-in-law was standing behind her wheelchair, braiding her hair. Her smile shone through the gloom, and her eyes shone, somehow blowing away the veil of resentment. Long-held grudges and nasty family intrigue, and filling everywhere with light and colors that could not be captured even in 1,000 rainbows. We approached her. My father held her face and kissed her forehead. They looked at each other for a few seconds, but in those seconds there was a lifetime of deeply held love, connection, shared pain, and endless affection for each other, and longing to see each other. A brother and a sister, torn apart by life, and only having hopes of seeing each other if their children, like me, consented and deemed it appropriate. I went to her. She held my face in her hands and kissed my forehead. She looked at me for a few seconds. Her hazel eyes, clouded by chronic pain and disease, and the yearning for the 3 sisters and 3 daughters she had lost to cancer, a regret of a lifetime with an abusive husband, and the shame of being not able to move herself without assistance. And of course, the ever-present specter of not being able to see her loved ones. I could see all that and more. She looked at me and said, "Itne din baad kyun aaye? Why have you come after such a long gap?" I had no answer. I felt small, meaningless, scum of the earth, the lowest of the low. I felt that if hell had an eighth circle, I would surely be the reason for its creation. I looked at her again, and I felt the flowers of 1,000 colors blooming around me because she was smiling even wider. I had been forgiven yet again, and I realized motherhood is maybe not just the domain of that one person in your life. It exists in every woman and manifests itself in 1,000 ways. For a woman's love is the very expression of God's endless mercy. Over to you, Topics Master.
Thank you so much, DTM Talha bin Hamid, for this scintillating piece of writing. This was very, very beautifully put, and thank you for sharing your writing. अब हम चलते हैं अपनी अगली लिखारी की तरफ, जिन्होंने बहादुरी की आज नई मिसाल कायम की है, और वो कहती है मैं उर्दू में ही लिखूंगी, इंग्लिश में नहीं। टोस्ट मास्टर सृजिता राज, आइए और अपनी लिखा हमसे पेश कीजिए।
थैंक यू सो मच टोस्टमास्टर नवजीन। ये टॉपिक बहुत अहम है, और जो भी मैंने लिखा है वो मेरे दिल के बहुत करीब है। काफी तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं है बयां करने के लिए जो पेन हमारी जिंदगी में मेरी प्यारी लेडीज की है, पर एक छोटी सी कोशिश मैंने की है। मैं एक ऐसे खानदान से आती हूँ जहां हर खातून की लोह ए रीढ़ से मैं बखूबी वाकिफ। मेरी सारी बहनें डॉक्टर्स हैं या उनके पास डॉक्टरेट्स हैं, कुछ के पास डिग्रियों वाले, कुछ के पास जिंदगी वाले। जब आप ऐसी खवातीनों से रोजमर्रा रूबरू होते हैं तो आपके नजरिए को ऐसी उड़ान मिलती है कि आपकी दुनिया के सारे रंग हौसले की रोशनी से खिल उठते हैं। इत्तेफाक ये था कि मैं एक ऐसे स्कूल में पहुंची जहां मेरी टीचर्स जो भी पढ़ाती उसमें उम्मीद, हुस्न और उसको उम्मीद, हुस्न और जज्बे से भर देती। मेरी 5th स्टैंडर्ड की क्लास टीचर, जो मुझे इंग्लिश में पढ़ाती थी, जगप्रीत मैम, कहा करती हैं कि इट्स नेवर द पर्सन हु इज गुड और बैड, इट्स देयर एक्शंस दैट आर गुड और बैड। लोगों को इस बारीकी और हमदर्दी से देखने और समझने की अहमियत सिखाई उन्होंने मुझे। मेरी कायनात को देखने के मेरे नजरिए को ताकत, हिम्मत, जिद और नजाकत से और निखारा और तजुर्बे से नवाजा मेरी वालिदानों ने, बोथ ब्लड रिलेटेड एंड स्पिरिट रिलेटेड। तवज्जो देनी किस चीज को है और किसे नहीं, ये फर्क करना और अपने आप को जरूरत से ज्यादा अहमियत नहीं देना भी मेरी माँ ने ही तो सिखाया है। उन्होंने मुझे सिखाया जिंदगी की इस तमकरत में जमीन से ताल्लुकात बनाए रखना और हमेशा ये याद रखना कि हर चमक, हर दमक ओझल हो जाएगी, लेकिन खुशियां तभी बरकरार रहेंगी जब रिश्ते मजबूत होंगे और जड़ें गहरी होंगी। इस इस मसाल को उन्होंने जिया और उससे मैंने बहुत कुछ सीखा है। जितने भी रंग मैंने देखे हैं उनके ढांचे मेरे जीवन के पुरुषों ने बनाए, पर उनमें हौसले और खूबसूरती के रंग मेरी जान से प्यारी खातूनों ने भरे। ख्वाबों का हकीकत बनना मुमकिन होता है, मेहनत का मुकम्मल होना मुमकिन होता है, और गिर कर, टूट कर, डर कर भी लड़ना और जीतना मुमकिन होता है। ये मैंने अपनी माँओं, बहनों और सखियों से सीखा है। मेरी तस्वीरें कायनात में लड़ाकी का रंग वजूद जन से है। शुक्रिया।
बहुत ही खूबसूरत, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया टोस्ट मास्टर सृजिता राज। आपने हमें एक अलग डगर पे चला के और फिर हमें ये अपना रूप दिखा दिया। आपने कहा कि हमें तो उर्दू आती नहीं है इतनी अच्छी, और इतनी खूबसूरती से आपने सारा पैराया बांधा, बहुत ही प्यारा। और आप इसको जरूर लिखें और इसको जारी रखें। आप ये मत समझें कि उर्दू अच्छी नहीं, हमसे बहुत बेहतर उर्दू आपने लिखी है, बोली है, बेहतरीन। Now we are moving to the next speaker. Last speaker of this segment, but not the least, Toastmaster Cyril Paul, who will be writing on the existence of women brings color to the universe.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I just have something scratched out amidst all the things that were going on. Yeah, here goes. Black, white, a tinge of color before it all moves to sepia. These are the memories that I think of when I think of my grandmothers. My maternal grandmother is a lady called Elizabeth. She was a tall lady, all of 4 feet 9 inches in height. She lost her son before he was born. Why? Because she was bitten by a cobra while she was working in the field, and the baby was stillborn. And this is the 1960s, when medical care just wasn't anything that you can get, even within hours, and you had to walk to the hospital. Despite that, she became the bedrock of the family, which is where the white, which is a spirituality, and the black, which is a bedrock, comes in. I learned from her that prayer was not something that you offered him. Prayer was something that you offered in us so that we can cleanse ourselves, so that when he looks down, he's proud of what we are. Yet another tall lady is my paternal grandmother. Her name was Anna. She too was 4 feet 11 inches. There's something about short grandmothers in my family. But her husband, whom I resemble, was 6 feet 4 inches. So there is this line in an Amitabh movie, मैं first floor में नाच रहा हूँ और आप ground floor में नाच रही है. It was pretty much true for them. My grandmother was a lion heart. She spoke no other language apart from Malayalam, which is my native language. That never stopped her from boarding a flight, flying all the way down to Bombay, where we would receive her at the airport and take her home. And I asked her, normally women are afraid to take a bus, take a train, and you're taking a flight without even knowing the language. Aren't you afraid? She said, why should I be afraid? I'm not driving. It's a pilot who's driving. And I have this ticket. I just need to show them. They'll tell me what to do. My grandmother lost her husband when her baby was 3 days old. Again, 1960s. I can't even imagine the hardships. There were 7 of them, by the way, 7 children. The 7th child was 3 days old. I can't even imagine the hardships that they would have gone through to tend to the farm, tend to the kids, tend to everything. Being the man in that word called woman is something that they learn to be, break through gender stereotypes, not because they could, because there was no other way. That was the only way that they could live. Another massive lady is my mother, Rosa, whom Toastmaster Raisa said. The colors that I think of her, well, it's a kaleidoscope of colors. My best memory of her is once she was going to office. She was wearing a pink sari, a floral pink sari. And I would cry every morning when she would leave me at the doorstep and she would go. One day, I think I was 3 years old and I did not cry. And she flashed the most brilliant smile that I've ever seen, that I just can't forget that smile. That smile is seared in my heart, seared in my brains. It's a fabric of my entire being. I don't think she smiled that way ever. Even after I passed chartered accountancy with great difficulty. I call it CA PhD, passed with high difficulty. Well, that's her. My first nanny, her name was Narayani. Narayan is a Hindu name. Narayani was her name. And for my awesome mouth, I used to call her Manani. When I think of Manani, it's a color yellow that I think, because she was a color of sun. She would make me smile. She would make me laugh. I had the privilege of meeting her in my 20s again. We had drifted apart because our family shifted to Bombay, and she attended my sister's wedding. She was old, and she was not a tall woman for a change. She was very, very short. And I really wanted to pick her up and carry her around the way she did when I was a kid. Another lady, her name is Kala. She was our first house help. Silver is a color that associated with her. Why? Because she would watch all the movies in all the surrounding houses. VCR was a new thing, and our family did not have that. And she would come and she would tell us stories of Amitabh and everybody else. I learned my storytelling from Kala. My sister, the color black. Why? Because she's an outstanding lady. She's never stood second in her life. Yet, I had to bear the cross of telling her, hold back. You're a woman. You need to take care of your family. You can't take that promotion because that promotion means that you'd be posted in Dubai, Singapore, God knows where. And it pained my heart. It was like holding a ice cream cone and saying, I can't give this to you because you're a woman. I've had to go through that soul-searing moments with her. A nameless lady that I met in Ranchi. The color is olive, because that's the color of cow dung. And that's the color of the walls and the floors of her home, because it was paved with cow dung. She was illiterate. And I was there as part of my private equity fund. It was an impact-oriented fund. And there was a microfinance company that we funded, and she was the beneficiary. We're sitting and talking, and it's quite surprising. I'm in my suit, my tie, our shoes were outside, and I'm sitting and talking to these women. They don't speak English or anything at all. Communication was difficult. We're talking. She's getting a loan at 23% interest rate, which is unbelievable. Yet she was managing to pay it back. In the middle of this conversation, she suddenly sits bolt bolt straight, upright. And she says, Babu Rora. And I'm like, what? And she produces from the folds of her sari a little baby whom she had concealed there. And she was doing all of this with a little baby sleeping behind her. She was running a small shop where she sold eggs and grocery and all of that. And I'm thinking, she's doing materials management, inventory management, financial management, debtors and creditors analysis, and all of those big things that we learn in chartered accountancy without knowing ABC. She signed off on the loan agreement with her Anghuta. She was an Anghuta chap. But I would have given my degree and maybe the degree of everybody in my office more, in exchange for that Anghuta, because it was so valuable. I can go on talking about several women and the way they have influenced me. They've humbled me. I stand tall thanks to several women who were my mothers, who were my sisters, who were my friends. I've learned almost everything beautiful from all these women. Thank you for such a lovely topic, and back to you. Let's put it together.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Cyril, for these scintillating stories after stories. And it's somehow that it has brought this vulnerability in each one of the speakers, and they are sharing stories which are just, they hit straight to the heart. Thank you, everyone, 4 of you who have written beautiful stories and shared with us. Srijita, your Urdu story was amazing. Cyril, आपकी तो सबकी सभी बहुत खूबसूरत थी. TBH, as always, you were great. And Tehseen's first try, लेकिन पूरी तमकिनत, पूरी तमतराक के साथ वो हमारी महफिल को सजा के चली गई. एंड एक पोल आ गया है. आप अपने चारों में से अपने पसंदीदा को चूज करें और इनको वोट करें ताकि ये आगे भी लिखते रहें और आगे भी पार्टिसिपेट करते रहें. एंड बैक टू TMOD.
Thank you, Sammy. So I love these, all of these Let's Word It segment. I'm so glad I'm not competing against any of them today. There's like a little pat on my back. I'm not participating. Thank God. I would have never have done anything as beautiful as what these people have. Before we move on, I have one little anecdote for everyone. I had the privilege to have an incredible woman as my English teacher in O-levels, who once told all of us that the leaves on our favorite trees that we see turn toxic, and the trees make a choice to save themselves and make them fall off and stay completely barren in the winter. But the second spring hits, they get their reserves, they get their sunlight, they turn lush green, and sometimes some of them have incredible smelling, beautiful flowers. So how does this anecdote relate to our little topic or conversation today? If I can find my slide, there we go. So self-awareness is what the tree had. It acknowledged the fact that its leaves were toxic and threw them off. So by acknowledging our own biases and actively working to challenge them, we can actually have our spring. Advocacy plays a vital role, whether by supporting gender equitable policy or speaking out against discrimination, actually giving nutrients to the leaves. Representation is equally important. We must actively encourage women to step into leadership, pursue careers in STEM, and explore entrepreneurship. Mentorship and sponsorship can be transformative in helping women progress in their careers. Most importantly, we must be willing to question traditional norms and redefine what strength, leadership, and success actually means, because each of us have a part to play, like the leaves in a tree. Small actions like calling out bias, uplifting a colleague, or challenging outdated expectations can create meaningful change. As we support one another, we all move forward together. Now, each woman's story shapes our future. The grandmother that we've heard who held the family together, the mother who fought for her dreams, the girl who refused to be told that she couldn't do it. So our future is only as strong as the voices that we uplift today. So let's not just talk about change, let's make it happen. So here's to strong women. May we know them, may we be them, and may we raise them. I have a question for everyone today. Actually, 2. Can anybody see the blank slide in front of them? The slide in front of you is blank, right? So I have a little thing for all of our strong women here today. So if you could give me a second, I have a gift for everyone. Only the women. Sorry, everyone else. But I have a, hold on, if I can share it. There we go. So thank you to all the women of WordWise who were here with us today, who put in so much effort in making sure the meeting ran very well. And for any of our participants, I have a question for you. If you did not get to answer this, who was the woman that you would like to share who shaped your life today? Any volunteers? Anybody who'd like to share any story, anything who didn't get to? I don't think there's anyone. All right then. So now
Is this only for
I
is this
shall.
only for women?
No, anyone can.
Okay.
The thank you note was for the women.
No.
The best challenge for Toastmaster Asghar would be to deliver a appreciating speech about his mother-in-law.
Yes, and you know what? Yes, मुझे अगर allow करेंगे 2 मिनट के लिए, this is happening first time in my life. अब मुझे उर्दू में बोलना है या अंग्रेजी में?
Absolutely. आपकी मर्जी.
ओके, मेरा ख्याल है कि अब मेरी पसंदीदा औरतों में मेरी मदर इन लॉ हैं और बुरी औरतों में मेरी माँ हैं. एंड हियर इज द रीजन. मेरी माँ मुझे हमेशा कहती हैं कि तुम यंग हो, स्मार्ट हो, हैंडसम हो, और उनकी ख्याल में जो उनकी सबसे बड़ी गलतफहमी है इन तीनों के अलावा कि तुम कभी नहीं मरोगी. मतलब उसकी जहन में नहीं है कि मैं मर जाऊंगा. मेरी मदर इन लॉ इसके बिल्कुल अपोजिट है. शी इज माई क्रिटिक, शी इज माई आईना. वो मुझे हमेशा कहती हैं कि आज तुमने, भाई कपड़ों पे उनको एतराज है. मतलब हाउ शेम इट इज. मतलब ये कपड़े जो तुमने पहने हैं, उसने कहा कि दिस इज नॉट एज अप्रोप्रिएट, दिस इज नॉट एज अप्रोप्रिएट. भाई तुमको इससे क्या एज अप्रोप्रिएट नहीं है? बट यू नो, लेकिन दिस इन इन सम वे ना वो इम्प्रूव करती हैं मुझे. मतलब मेरी प्रोनाउंसिएशन पे 15 दिन यूके में रही हैं, पार्टी को पोटी कहती हैं, मुझे कहती हैं आपकी प्रोनाउंसिएशन सही नहीं है. तो इन अ वे वो मुझे करेक्ट करती रहती हैं कॉन्स्टेंटली. आई मीन शी इज करेक्टिंग मी, शी इज फाइटिंग विद मी, एंड आई एम गेटिंग माई सेल्फ इम्प्रूव्ड डे बाय डे. मेरी मॉम ने कभी भी कोई ऐसी बात नहीं कही कि जो मुझे इम्प्रूव करे. भाई तुम हैंडसम हो, तुम स्मार्ट हो, तुम यंग हो. वो कहती नहीं भाई, खुदा के बंदे, इंसान के बंदे बनो. यू आर गोइंग अवे. जस्ट अपनी अपनी सर को कलर कर लो ताकि तुम इंसान लगो. यू नो, that is how, I mean, it's a praise. And thank you very much, Irfan, for dragging me that direction. But that is how I salute her. I salute her, making my life better literally every day. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay, you're welcome. From her, hopefully. You took her book, so I hope she's okay with that too. So you can thank her for that as well. With that note, I will be handing over the meeting to our general evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Sila Hamid, a project manager at an international digital marketing company whose journey is a beautiful blend of language, leadership, and creativity. With a master's in English linguistics and literature, her passion for poetry, both in English and Urdu, is in her blood. Beyond words, she finds joy in public speaking, traveling, and cooking, embracing life with enthusiasm and exploration. A Toastmaster for the past 9 months, she credits her parents as the guiding torches of her life. Initially, it was her mother who shaped her path, and after her passing, her father stepped in to play both roles, becoming her pillar of strength. A testament to resilience and love, her journey is truly inspiring. Let's hear more from her today. Toastmaster Sila, are you there with us?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, for a brief introduction of mine. I'm really honored and privileged. The hands that rock the cradle is the hand that rules the world. What an awesome poem by William Wallace. Beautifully highlighted the immense power and the influence that a woman has in shaping our future. Dear Toastmasters, it reminds us that woman in every role, like a mother, daughter, sister, and wife, plays a vital role in shaping the world in a better place. Their love, strength, and wisdom not only shape their families, but they shape the entire society. When men and women work together, take care of each other, respect and understand one another, then we can create a world with a powerful and a meaningful uh, future and a place to live. So on Women's Day, let's honor and uplift every woman because they are the true architect of our future. On Women's Day, let me share who was the true guiding torch of my life was none other than my mother. But after her departure in my early stage of life, my father took a role of both. He played bravely the both roles as the mom and the dad. I remember his one line statement. He used to say, "My daughter is so intelligent." That powerful line made me to ignite the passion to find out the hidden abilities and transform myself from the introvert person to the extrovert. Here, I would like to dedicate one poem for my mother, my guiding torch, by the famous poet Vasisha. कि कामयाबियां इज्जत ये नाम तुमसे है, खुदा ने जो भी दिया है मुकाम तुमसे है, तुम्हारे दम से मेरे लहू में खिलते गुलाब, तुम्हारे दम से मेरे लहू में खिलते गुलाब, मेरे वजूद का सारा निजाम तुमसे है, कहाँ बिसाते जहां और मैं कम से नो नादा, कहाँ बिसाते जहां और मैं कम से नो नादा, ये मेरी जीत का सब एहतमाम तुमसे, जहां जहां है मेरी दुश्मनी सबब मैं हूँ, जहां जहां है मेरी दुश्मनी सबब मैं हूँ, जहां जहां है मेरा एहतराम तुमसे है, ये कामयाबियां ये इज्जत ये नाम तुमसे है, खुदा ने जो भी दिया है मुकाम तुमसे है. Now, I would like to come to the evaluation part of the meeting. In Toastmaster, feedback is like the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is the breakfast of the champion. It nurtures growth, posture improvement, and builds confidence. So let's welcome our first evaluator of the speech of DTM Irfan Faruqi.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम। क्या मेरी आवाज आप सबको आ रही
Yes.
हमें आवाज नहीं आ रही है अभी।
अच्छा, अब मेरी आवाज आ रही है? सॉरी।
हाँ, लेकिन हमें बैकग्राउंड से भी बहुत सारी आवाजें आ रही हैं। अगर वो एलिमिनेट हो जाए ना तो विल बी एबल टू हियर यू।
नाउ एक्चुअली मेरी क्लास स्टार्ट हो गई है। अच्छा, हम मुमताज टोस्ट मास्टर इरफान फारूकी साहब ने जो तकरीर पेश की उसका मौजू था तनाव, और वो अपने जो मंसूबा पेश कर रहे थे वो था इत्तेफाक राय तक पहुंचना। इरफान फारूकी साहब, बहुत बहुत मुबारकबाद हो, आपने अपने मंसूबे की तकमील की बहुत उम्दगी से। आपने बहुत खूबसूरती से अपना तज्जिया बयान किया। आपकी तकरीर में हर तरह का अंसर मौजूद था। इंतहाई उम्दा तरीके से तैयार की गई तकरीर, जिसमें आगाज, मतन, मरकजी सा और इख्तिताम बहुत खूबी से उसमें मुंतकली होती रही। कहानी कोई लाजवाब, और आपका अंदाज़े बयां सुनने वाले को मुतवज्जा रखता रहा। इसमें कोई शक नहीं, मुख्तलिफ जगहों पे आपने नाम के साथ साथ जैसे मंजर कशी की, वो यकीनन इस बात की गवाही दे रहा है कि आप कितने बेहतरीन कहानी गो हैं। जिस तरह से आपने सदारत के ओहदे का जिक्र किया इब्तिदा में, मुझे लगा अब आप किसी दफ्तरी नशिस्त का जिक्र करेंगे, लेकिन आपने बहुत खुश उसलूब इस मौजू को छेड़ा जो हर खानदान में पाया जाता है, क्योंकि अब यही तरीका रह गया है कि हम रिश्तेदारों के से मुलाकात कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि शादियों में भी कम ही मुलाकात हो पा रही है आजकल। ओ, अच्छा, आपके हाथों के इशारे, आपके जिस्म की हरकत, दोनों में बहुत बेहतरीन तवाज़ुन था। लेकिन मुख्तलिफ लम्हात ऐसे आए कि जिसमें हम लोग उस घड़ी को पहुंच गए कि जो आप बयान कर रहे थे। आपकी तकरीर में बामकसद तवक्कुफ था, लेकिन बामकसद मुहर्रकात नहीं थी। बहुत बेहतरीन आपकी तकरीर थी, बस कुछ चीजें हैं जिनको मैं आप बयान करना चाहूंगी। जैसा कि मैंने बयान किया कि आपके हरकत थे और लेकिन मुख्तलिफ लम्हात ऐसे आए कि जब आपका जो चौखट हम कहेंगे, जो आपकी स्क्रीन है, उसमें से आपके हाथ गायब हो गए। हमारे जब हम बरक़ी राब्ते में होते हैं तो हमें अपना इस तरतीब देनी चाहिए कि हम पूरे नजर आ सकें, जिस तरह से मैं कर रही हूँ। एक चीज जो मैं कहना चाहूंगी वो ये कि आपकी मुहर्रकात में थोड़ी सी बेतरतीबी थी। मतलब कि इब्तदा में आप बिल्कुल मरकज पे रहे, फिर आखिर कुछ लम्हात के लिए, बल्कि काफी दौरान के लिए, आप दाएं तरफ से मुंतकिल हो गए और इख्तिताम आपने मरकज पे किया। आप कोशिश कर रहे थे कि वो बामकसद मुहर्रकात हो, लेकिन फिर भी महसूस हुआ कि वो बामकसद नहीं थे। और एक आखिरी चीज जो मैं कहना चाहूंगी वो ये कि इब्तदाइया का दौरानिया काफी तवील हो गया था, जिसकी वजह से क्या हुआ कि मरकज पे आपने कम वक्त दिया और फिर इख्तितामिया पे आप जल्दी जल्दी आए। अगर हम बाहमी रजामंदी वाली जगह पे थोड़ा सा और सुन पाते तो मजा आ जाता। आपकी आवाज की जुमलों की अदायगी बिल्कुल क्लियर थी। आवाज का उतार चढ़ाव भी बेहतरीन था। मजमूई तौर पर एक उम्दा तकरीर, मयारी मवाद, तमाम अनासिर से मुज़य्यन और उम्दा कहानी गोई आज हमने देखी। बस जरा सी नोक पलक इसमें मजीद सुधार पैदा करके इसको मजीद उम्दा बना सकती। जनरल इवालुएटर, थैंक यू।
Now, this is the time for another speech evaluation. I would like to call DTM Irfan Farooqi to evaluate the speech of DTM Farooq.
बहुत शुक्रिया। अगरचे टोस्ट मास्टर मोहम्मद फ़ारूक मुझे यहाँ नज़र नहीं आ रहे और गुफ्तगू उनकी गैर मौजूदगी में होगी, लेकिन उम्मीद है कि वो आखिर में वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग के ज़रिए अपना फीडबैक ले लेंगे जो मैं उनके बारे में देना चाहूँगा। टोस्ट मास्टर मोहम्मद फ़ारूक ने अपनी गुफ्तगू का आगाज़ एक लंबी नींद के वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड बनाने से किया। इस ख्वाहिश के साथ वो शुरू हुए और आखिर में नींद तो दूर की बात, वो हम सबको नींद से जगा के चले गए। किस कदर शानदार गुफ्तगू थी जो उन्होंने की। ये जो प्रोजेक्ट उनका था इस प्रोजेक्ट में ये लेवल 1 जो स्पीच है, लेवल 1 प्रोजेक्ट 1.4.1, पहली तकरीर, फर्स्ट स्पीच। इस फर्स्ट स्पीच में मुकर्रर को 3 चीज़ों को जो उसने पहले की होती हैं शामिल करना होता है। एक, मतन यानी कंटेंट। नंबर 2, वोकल वैरायटी, आवाज़ का सौती असर, उतार चढ़ाव। नंबर 3, बॉडी लैंग्वेज, जिस्मानी हरकत व सकना। टोस्ट मास्टर मोहम्मद फारूक ने इन तीनों चीज़ों को बहुत ही शानदार तरीके से अपनी तकरीर का हिस्सा बनाया। अगर मैं सबसे पहले मतन की बात करूं, कंटेंट की बात करूं, इस कदर शानदार बात शुरू की। और जिस वक्त मैं आपको सही बात बताऊं, टोस्ट मास्टर मोहम्मद फारूक ने जब गुफ्तगू शुरू की और उन्होंने उस गुफ्तगू के शुरू में एक औरत के साथ दफ्तर के मामलात की बात की, तो मुझे पहला ख्याल यही आया कि जाने क्यों हम जब कभी औरत और दफ्तर की बात करते हैं तो हमारा ये ख्याल होता है कि औरत दफ्तर की खूबसूरती। लेकिन जब वो आखिर में पहुंचे तो उन्होंने बिल्कुल इसी ख्याल को उलट करके दिखाया और ये साबित करके दिखाया, औरत जब दफ्तर में है तो अपनी ज़ाहिरी खूबसूरती अहमियत नहीं रखती, वहाँ उसकी उस ओहदे पे मौजूदगी और उसका प्रोफेशनल रवैया असल अहमियत रखता है। और कैसे एक प्रोफेशनल औरत भी ये कहती है कि अगर तुमने मेरे नाम पर पासवर्ड रखा था तो ये कोई अजीब बात नहीं है, क्योंकि यहाँ सारे ही ऐसे करते नजर आते। दूसरी अहम बात आवाज़ के सौती असरात और चढ़ाव की मैं करूं, तो जैसे उन्होंने कहा कि सबसे पुरानी कंपनी, अब ये पुरानी का जो उन्होंने जिक्र किया, अपनी आवाज़ के साथ उन्होंने इंतहाई खूबसूरती पैदा की। और तीसरी चीज़, अगर मैं जिस्मानी हरकत और सकनात की बात करूं, तो उन्होंने स्टेज का इस्तेमाल काफ़ी हद तक तो किया, लेकिन शायद जो अहम चीज़ थी वो तकरीबन मरकज़ में ही खड़े होकर बोलते रहे, थोड़ा सा रुख बदलते रहे लेकिन इधर उधर नहीं हुए। अगर वो इस काम को कर लेते तो शायद ज़्यादा बामानियत हो जाती। तो इसके साथ मैं ये कहूँगा कि कई जगह ऐसी थी जहाँ पर उनकी उनकी फ़िक्रे जो हैं वो बड़े खूबसूरत थे। जैसे उन्होंने कहा दफ्तर का अहम तरीन काम, और फिर कहा गॉसिप। यकीनन हमारे दफ्तरों का सबसे अहम काम गॉसिप ही है जो हम करते हैं। फिर उन्होंने पाकिस्तान की सियासत का मशहूर और मारूफ जुमला मुझे क्यों निकाला इस्तेमाल करके अपनी तकरीर को और खूबसूरत बना दिया। और एक मौके पे जब वो कहने लगे कि मैं इतना खुश हुआ कि जब वापस आए और पता लगा पासपोर्ट नहीं पकड़ेगा, खुशी से नाचने लगे। मुझे लगा कि शायद खुशी से वो अपनी बॉस को गले लगा लेंगे, लेकिन वो रुक गए और सिर्फ नाचने पर ही इक्तफा किया। ओवरऑल इंतहाई खूबसूरत तकरीर थी, मकसद पूरा किया, तीनों चीज़ें शामिल थी इसके अंदर। थोड़ा सा ज़रा स्टेज को अगर वो इस्तेमाल कर लेते तो तकरीर ज़्यादा खूबसूरत हो जाती। बैक टू यू जनरल इवैल्यूएटर।
Thank you so much, DTM Irfan Faruqi, for a detailed evaluation for the speech of DTM Farooq. Now it's time to take the evaluation from the language evaluator, Urdu. I would like to request DTM Rashid for giving his report regarding this.
Yes, TTM Rashid had to leave, but
Yeah.
he left his report in the chat.
Okay, so now I would like to call language evaluator English, Toastmaster Meher Tanveer, to share her report.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator Toastmaster Silla. First of all, shout outs to people who use the word of the day: Toastmaster Aiza Osmani, Toastmaster Saba Anjum, Toastmaster Sajida Singh, Toastmaster Gulezera, and if I'm not wrong, Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid, DTM Talha bin Hamid. If there's anyone here whom I have missed, my apologies. Distinguished Toastmaster Fanfarb, yes, I just heard yes, of course. Thank you very much for your accommodating the word of the day and indulging the grammarian. Overall, I'll say that the use of language in this meeting, both Urdu and English, was scintillating and so beyond compare, incomparable really. If anyone would like to take a class in descriptive writing, whether it was Toastmaster Aiza, Toastmaster Samreen's introduction, to distinguished Toastmaster Talha, Toastmaster Cyril, or all the extempore writers, Toastmaster Tehseen, Toastmaster Srijita, Toastmaster Gule Zara, all of you really moved us today, moved our emotions, moved mountains, I would say, and made us cry, laugh, feel joy, feel such a myriad of emotions that I must say that I must commend the use of language in every way. The usual suspect, the use of tenses, it comes up in every meeting, and I'll just give a general correction in that it's good to maybe look up a grammar book for this and have a look at how we can use past tense, present tense, and future tense. So, for example, if we want to say, if we want to mention that something, if you're wishing some, for example, someone said, I wish I had met her. I wish I would have met her earlier. It could have been said in a better way. I wish I had met her earlier. So just practicing some exercises from grammar books would definitely give you all an edge in understanding English grammar. I know it's not the easiest of languages to conquer, and neither is Urdu for that matter. It just comes with practice. If anyone would like to have their individual reports, I'm available. Thank you so much. Back to you, to General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Lee. Now, I would like to ask the timer for is there any disqualification?
Oh, well, I could not
Yeah.
time DTM Asma while she was delivering the evaluation, but from my gut feel, I think she has exceeded the timeline, whereas DTM Irfan also exceeded. He was 3 minutes 35. So both our timers, they've exceeded the timeline. I believe TBH was timing parallelly and he agrees. Oh, no, DTM Irfan.
Thank you so much,
Back to you, General
Toastmaster.
Evaluator.
Thank you so much. Okay. The level of literary elegance always impresses me at the WordWise Advanced Toastmaster, and it was a kind of a gift for me to be the part or to represent the Husne Khitabat as well. So as my Urdu is so good, Alhamdulillah, I feel so proud on it. And whenever I get a chance to speak Urdu, though I love to speak English, but I love to be Urdu speaker as well. My Urdu is so good. So I want to share one couplet which reminds me whenever I be with the advanced Toastmaster worldwide. सुना है बोले तो बातों से फूल झड़ते हैं, सुना है बोले तो बातों से फूल झड़ते हैं, ये बात है तो चलो बात करके देखते हैं. This was the couplet which intended me to opt for this role, and I happily said yes, why not? I would love to be the part of that meeting. And Alhamdulillah, and that was an amazing time. I didn't feel that the time, flies, and it, just went out, and unluckily, we delayed, but we were so much hooked with the meeting that every single minute it was just like Meher Tanveed was Master Meher Tanveed added, it was so catchy stories. We heard a lot of stories of a woman. The woman we heard and the stories that was their stories, and undoubtedly that belongs to our future. And we all are the outcome, or you can say the gift of the mothers or the women which we are in our lives. So today, as expected, the meeting was executed really well, though it was delayed, but it was worth attending as I have heard the beautiful stories that I mentioned. And overall, it was tremendous. And we all were online, though I don't like online meetings, but it was really outclassed and I enjoyed it. It's all about the acceptance and the words. We have to understand the woman. We know that every successful man, behind every successful man, there's a woman. And it can be a shape of a sister, as D.T. Irfan Faruqi said, that his life story has a brighten up, or the guiding torch was the sister. And I've heard so many other stories, and I was really delighted by listening the stories of the women who have empowered all those men around us. So the only thing which I want to share you on this day, that we need unity. रिश्ते सब के सब एहसास के होते हैं. अगर हमें इंसानियत नहीं है, अगर हमें इंसान एहसास नहीं है, तो हम कुछ भी नहीं हासिल कर सकते. Mother or woman or men, they both are the genders of the creator. So why don't we have a balance with each other instead of having any kind of a racial, any kind of chauvinism? Instead of all this, why don't we have love, harmony, togetherness, unity? And if we have all these things in our life, सिर्फ और सिर्फ एहसास, अगर हमें एहसास पैदा हो जाए तो हम अशरफुल मखलूकात कहलाने के काबिल हो जाएंगे. और यहाँ पे एक और शेर मैं अल्लामा इकबाल का आपकी नजर करना चाहती हूँ. फर्द कायम रब्ते मिल्लत से है, फर्द कायम रब्ते मिल्लत से है, तन्हा कुछ नहीं. मौज है दरिया में और बैरून दरिया कुछ नहीं. Only the wave strength you can find out, you can see in the sea. Unless and until it's just a water. So be united, love each other, stay together, and just take care and feel the pain of others, whoever it is, the man or the woman. If we have the feelings for each other, then we can live the life with the fullest, and we can make this world a better place to live for us and for our future generations as well. Thank you so much with this note. Happy Women's Day to all of you, and keep on spreading love and care to everyone. Thank you so much. Over to you, President.
Thank you. Thank you so much for those lovely, lovely words. Toastmaster Silla, it's a delight to have you. And it's a delight to hear from you. Like you said, you've always been a mute spectator at the WordWise meetings. Finally, I get to hear you speak. Thank you so very much for those lovely thoughts. This, for the record, has been the longest ever WordWise meeting. WordWise and Husne Khitabat. It's 3.5 hours long. I don't think that they've had a meeting longer than this. I'll keep my words short. Huge shout outs going to our two newbies of the day. That would be to Toastmaster Aiza, who delivered her first T-mod stint and did a fabulous job. There were things that were being shuffled in and out, and yet she kind of rolled with the flow. Another huge shout out to someone who, despite I do not know how well she knows the language, Srijita, delivering her first Urdu speech. My goodness, you blew us away with that. Never knew that. Yet another feather on your cap. For that, both of you ladies get this book from me. It's a book called Daughters of the Sun by Ira Mukoti. Toastmaster Aiza has already received it yesterday. She got a PDF, and Toastmaster Srijita, you're going to get a hard copy delivered to you. It's a book that demands to be read. It's a book about the Mughal queens, the empresses, the princesses. Those of you know me, I have spoken enough and more about this book. But the rest of you, it's a book that demands to be read. Well, Toastmaster Meher and I have been speaking about this for a long time. We're planning to start a book club at WordWise. EBH, please ensure that this part is not, you cut this part out while you're uploading this on YouTube. It's going to be pirated books. Yeah, we can't shuttle books as a border. It's going to be pirated. Thank you so much, TBH. Yeah, please cut that last part out as well. I think knowledge should be shared, but if you really like that PDF, I would urge you to buy that book as well in physical copy so that the author gets their royalty. Knowledge should not be kept by a few. Yeah, so very soon a formal announcement on this would be, rather an informal announcement would be formally announced to all of you about the book club. And if you have any titles, do feel free to suggest those to Toastmaster Meher or VP Education. Right, that's it from my side. All the very best. Thank you so very much for this wonderful session. I know it's overshot. Its timelines would be an understatement, but believe me, I enjoyed every single minute of it from what I could make out. Most of you really, really, really enjoyed it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and may your words forever be wise. And on that note, let me hand it over to TBH, our Zoom master, to announce the award winners from this meeting. Over to you, TBH. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Let's all put our hands together for our very own dear TBH, who has achieved the DTM status, not just once, but half a dozen times. Who does that? Half a dozen times. You need to call him DTM, 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 TBH. Congratulations and keep inspiring us, TBH. Over to you. Audio,
Thank
audio.
you.
You're on mute.
Hey, you are not mute, but still we cannot hear you. You are.
Okay. Am I audible now?
You're audible now, yes.
So first of all, thank you, because WordWise is one of the reasons behind one of those DTMs. And of course, everyone knows that one DTM means sponsor and mentor of a club. So that represents at least 7 or 8 or even 10, 11 clubs that I've been involved in founding. And that is only the ones I took credit for. And I'm making that point to emphasize that it's never the achievement of one person. Just like we do speeches and get evaluated, it takes a village to make all those evaluations and get through our projects. It takes a village to hold all these meetings and assist with new club formation and everything. So this sounds like a cliche, but still it is true. Some cliches are cliches for a reason because they happen to be true. That it's not my own achievement at all. It's the achievement of the overall community. So thank you so much. And now I'll be quickly floating the poll for the best major role player. That is the one remaining. And if I could get a quick bit of assistance, let's word it, curator is Toastmaster
Tamreen.
Tamreen, yeah. I'm avoiding
Interpretive
the agenda because table topics masters are TM Sabha Andu and TM Sririta, right?
Yes. And the interpretive reading curator was Toastmaster Gule Zehra. And of course, you have the general evaluator.
The final one, G, is TM Sabha. So we had all the segments and then some today. No segment was left unturned. So apologies for my. I even forgot Cyril's name at one point, so please excuse me for that. All right. Okay. So, I'm launching this poll and announcing the rest of the polls. So first of all, best speaker today goes to DTM Mohammed Farooq for his momentous, memorable speech Password. I would like to add that it was actually the first ever Urdu speech contest winning for District 120. It was the winning speech. Best table topics today after a tough contest goes to Toastmaster Tanveen. Congratulations. And both the evaluators ended up disqualifying themselves, so congratulations on that too. And best wordsmith today goes to Toastmaster Srijita Raj. Congratulations. Again, after a very tough contest. And the major role play today goes to our TMOD Toastmaster Aida Osman. Congratulations. And I believe this is the toughest award to win. Quality of segments. Over to you, Mr. President.
That's largely it, nothing else from my side. I'm going to quote a man called Ziauddin, and you guys would absolutely have zero idea who Ziauddin is until I take his second name. It's Ziauddin Yousafzai, who's the father of Malala Yousafzai. And he was asked, how did you create such a beautiful person like Malala? You're a headmaster. And he had just one sentence in reply. He said that it's not what I did, it's what I did not do. I never held her back. I never clipped her wings. Let's hope that all the women who are here and not here, you continue to fly higher than your wildest dreams. And let's pray that all the men We never clip your wings. All the very best and have a wonderful weekend. God bless.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Very
much.
quickly, Shah Jorizano, the book, there's a link that you'll find here. It's been uploaded here. It'll be shared in the WhatsApp group as well. There are a few other books. We'll figure out a way to kind of share it with people. And if you have any titles in mind, please do share it with the VP Ed. We'll be happy to source a private copy and put it up on the drive. Yeah, let learning always be democratic. That's it. Done. TBH, whenever you feel, you can close the meeting.
Okay.
I believe Toastmaster Asghar needs to say something.
Yeah, please.
Not about his mother-in-law.
Go ahead, everyone.
No, not at all. Small suggestions about the interpretative reading. Cyril, I believe, we how to put it? We need to be hyperactive octopus with ears and eyes in all our, tentacles in order to be uh, to do more than one role while hearing the speeches and writing our own projects. We can't do two things simultaneously, and it's a very cruel competition. You hear the speaker and then at the same time you're writing for your interpretative reading. And I remembered very well to mention this cruelty to you and Toastmaster Meher and come up with a more prudent, course of action. But then I thought, giving suggestion to you is like lecturing Einstein on physics. But again, I would like to request to review this because I am very much interested in interpretative writing. But in every meeting, I feel, missing out so many things while writing things. So this is something, how can you do it? Can we take a short break in order to do it? Can we prepare it before the meeting and read it? I would like to request you to explore the venue. Over to you.
Oh man, you want to take that, Toastmaster Meher? I think the right person to actually answer that would be TBH because he's often the Zoom master, he's often the timer, he's often a speaker. If he's not the evaluator, the octopus begins from there. Then, of course, the VP Ed is Toastmaster Meher has got her hands on several pies. I myself lose count when I say that. Yeah, TBH. To be honest, yes. It's our favorite way to call him. By the way, Toastmaster Sabah. Yeah, I'll leave it to TBH to
Okay.
honestly tell us how do you do it.
To be honest, Toastmaster is good. Given that we are already bursting at the seams with segments and content, and usually we contain it within 2 hours or 2 hours, 15 minutes, it does not seem easy to be able to give a break in between for this writing. And let me also point out that, for the duration of the lifetime of this segment has always run hand in hand simultaneously while the meeting has been going. And somehow magic has been created. So we will try to think around it, but one recommendation would be to actually, involve people and get involved. Not have too many taxing roles in the meeting. That's the only way. That's the only answer I can offer because I don't think giving a break would be on the cards and it will go against the spirit of extempore writing. But at the same time, I understand your point that, but think of it like table topics, right? Table topics for the written word. So that would be my submission. What about you, Toastmaster Meher?
Right. So yes, this is a pertinent point. It's very true. Like there's so much, meetings are so rich that we don't want to miss what's going on in the meeting. We want to participate actively on the spot and engage with the speakers. And if, supposing we have a question or there's a keynote going on, we want to really take advantage of that. I think the solution I can come up with, I mean, what TVH was saying is that the magic actually somehow it's related to the fact that you're writing under pressure. Because, well, this is what I feel as a writer who has taken part in this competition, or I wouldn't call it a competition, but a segment. I don't know. I've been studying NLP, what they say in NLP as an NLP practitioner. When we talk to our clients, sometimes there are certain interventions where we fire questions at the clients. There's a rapid fire, and we ask them to. They actually have to sign a contract that they're going to abide by the instructions. They have to respond immediately, and the reason for that is that the immediate response is like it's the first image or that comes in their brain. It comes from their subconscious, so it comes really deep internally. That might have something to do with why this extempore writing segment manages to kind of percolate so and penetrate so deep inside, and it brings out stuff that even we become surprised by. "वो कैसे गया? Didn't think I would be able to do it." I think the only solution I can come up with is maybe we could plan our meetings that, okay, there are 2 meetings in a month. The first meeting, if I'm going to be an extempore writer in the first meeting, I catch up with the meeting later on recording. The second meeting, I take a role and I don't become an extempore writer. That's one solution I can come up with. So your suggestion about having extempore writers prior to the meeting selected, and we give them the topic and they're ready. I mean, they could do it, but would it really create that kind of magic, which happens when you write under pressure? I don't know. Some things just come out when you're like, I have to deliver it. I have to come up with something to say.
There's a lot of the times the guests in the meeting participate, right? So we cannot reach out to them in advance.
Isa is one of them, by the way.
Food support.
Srijita has got something to say. Just one quick thing, Srijita, before you do that. One suggestion that I would say that there's something called the emotional wheel. I'm not sure if you guys have seen that. Google it up. There's something called the emotional wheel. It's got several emotions listed to it, listed in it. And I would urge you to look at each emotion and think back about a time that made you feel that emotion. Whether it's, so instead of joy, there would be a rapture, there would be ecstasy, this, that, and all of that. So think about it, and you have a story from your life onto that. Most experienced storytellers, they're always full of stories because they've done this exercise. They've actually gone through that tough thing about identifying an emotion. And some of them, they even they have this good collection of quotes, which they mix and match to kind of deliver that impactful line at the moment when it's wanted in the way it ought to be delivered. So it's that little thing will go a really long way to make you a better orator. And confidence is something that builds on, right? I mean, you do something properly 12 times, 13 times, it's almost muscle memory. Yes, that's it from my side. Over to you, Srijita, and then Sila.
I want to say something before ending. I would like to say thank you to, in the presence of my president, DTM Talha bin Hamid, and I am from KTC, Karachi Toastmaster. I want to say thanks to all my mentors, including PBH, to make me feel so proud and to make me so confident to take this role as a journal evaluator and to be the part of this wonderful meeting, which is as you mentioned, the longest meeting of the WordWise Advanced Toastmaster. So this is all credit goes to my club, which has polished me to make me come in front of you to tell you who am I. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you once again for gracing us with your evaluation and your presence. Srijita, I'm so sorry. Yeah, sorry. Over to you. Go on.
It's okay. The only thing I wanted to say was that, is it possible that we release the topic for the extemporary writing segment around 30 to 40 minutes before the meeting starts and ask for volunteers' names so that we get in the names of the volunteers and they write before the meeting starts, and in the meeting they can present their pieces.
The problem with that is sometimes Steve H mentioned you have a guest coming in who's not in the WhatsApp group, and there's no equity there. Steve Jobs, you always used to say one last thing and then he would do something outstanding. That's how the iPhone was introduced. He would end his speech, then say, one last thing, and he presents the iPhone. So one last thing, we're going to celebrate a few birthdays. March 12th is our maiden Team Odds birthday coming up. So happy birthday in advance. I do not have any of your other birthdays except for one birthday that was yesterday. I can't name the person, but all the way down in Australia. So happy birthday to you too as well, and wishing both of you a wonderful year ahead. On that note, truly there is nothing else. My list is done. Have a great afternoon and a great weekend ahead. God bless.
So now this being from being the longest history in WordWise's history, it's moving on to the longest meeting in worldwide history to longest meeting in worldwide history. So
Yeah,
that was a
the last
right there.
Surrealism, yeah. The last meeting we had with Husne Khitabat, I remember that also went up to 3 hours. It was like, and nobody
Today.
So it's all
nobody noticed.
It's all Husne Khitabat.
It's not a Aiza thing. It's a Husne Khitabat thing, is it?
Aiza told me, Aiza said the other day that Cyril always correlates me with the. There was one thing I came up with another, what Srijita was saying. We could also limit the time for extemporary writing. Like we release the topic during the meeting. People start writing like during the episodes because we usually have 2 speeches. So
I think
that's 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think we can. I'll partly second that by saying that we can perhaps fix a minimum time at 2 minutes rather than 3. But below that, it will, I think, cease to have any meaning.
2 minutes, like.
Yes, I think that the most prudent course of action would be to give the time limit so that we can drag the all participants into the meeting mentally again. And after
Right.
this, otherwise, we have a tendency. I don't know the Parkinson law that we expend our
Yeah.
activity as per the available time. So if you are not giving the opportunity to me right now, I'm constantly writing down my things. But anyhow, I was not protesting for this segment. I was actually mourning not being an octopus. Over to you.
Right. No, thank you. I think we can think about this, that we do the episodes and then we have the extemporary writing segment right away. And then they're free to think. The speakers are also free to think, and then we can do the remaining segments for something like that. Okay. Cyril is like, let's go, man.
No problem. I'm not the one who's fasting here.
All right. Yeah. People have to go now. So yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Have a good day, everyone.
Shall I close
so much, everyone, for joining.
Should I close the meeting now? Okay. Bye-bye.
The longest goodbye.
Yeah, long. Bye-bye.